starting to be like, yeah, I should probably build these areas out more and not just have the interior anymore. Okay, let's see. Looks like Dingle's here. What's up, Dingle?
Nothing much.
Good, good. All right, I'm just getting your all your little like character tokens right for everything. Yeah. And we'll just wait for Adri. And then we'll jump right into a quick recap. Actually, I'll take you to that new map right now while we're waiting. Here, let's go check that out. Okay, here. So what you guys should... oh, wait, I just went there. I didn't take you there. Duh. Oh, no, I took you there. All right, you guys see it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
Okay.
can.
Yeah, so this is like the representation of sort of the mouth. There's like that difficult terrain over to the left-hand side where the temple is. And this is the cave in here. It's quite wide. I think it's like 100 by 100. Yeah, basically like 100 and some. By just about another 100. And then I guess it's kind of like if you go on an angle, it's 100. Regardless.
So the mouth of this cavern is on ground level?
Yeah, so it kind of goes like it's going upward, actually. The cavern is kind of inside like an upward slope. We'll roll perception maybe if you want to know it exactly. Well, I'll just say it's caused by water, like fluvial, like some sort of water probably ran through this little area at some point, and created this walkway up inside the cavern.
Okay, yeah, I was picturing it. I thought they'd have to walk up the mountain to get to the mouth, and I was picturing it completely different.
Okay, yeah, because they'll have to walk like kind of up the ramp into the cavern, but not like up a mountain too far.
Well, there goes that plan. I was gonna wait till they're all on because I was thinking one of those roads that wraps around the mountain, on the outside of the mountain. I was thinking they'd have to caravan up that, which would be prime target for an earthquake. But
Fair enough. Yeah, it would be good if you could incorporate some fall damage here, but there is still like, I mean, I guess if you want to cast another one, there's sort of like this whole area out here that you could potentially do, or at the mouth or whatever, blocking them off, or if like when Javrok comes with his whole Doom squad, you could maybe use that to your potential in the future to do some, like, instead of them falling, something falling on them, but that'll be up to you guys.
Alright, I can dig it.
Alright, I'll take you back.
Sorry, do we go ahead and level up now, or should we wait a bit longer?
You can do your level 19. Wait, no, not wait. Yeah, what? I believe we are level 19 right now.
Right now we're level 18. We have enough experience to level up though, but I don't think any of us have actually leveled up yet.
What happened, Dingle, was I think your character had to wait a full rest. I'm not sure if you were behind us on a rest, because the elves were able to take a short rest. I think you would have leveled up actually before last fight.
Alright. So what level are you at, K-Leg?
18.
Alright. Yeah, it says 18, but I have the little forge symbol next to experience. So yeah, I can level up.
Yeah, go ahead and do that now. I wanted everybody at 19 for this session, so that should be where we will be at. And yeah, so I guess for just a recap, Asayef had banished out this sort of cursed area in this temple, our cleric, and after that, the Lich and the Baylor came out because this was such a cursed area that when you destroy this area, there was like a curse tied to it. And then after we destroyed the Lich and the Baylor exploded into flames over here by Adri. And she almost died. There's the ping. All right, and yeah, anyway, she almost died. Luckily, we were able to save her. And I think she only took 2 death saves. We were worried she was going to take 3, but she only took 2. And then, yeah. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is that this little house that's beside her, it started on fire at some point. Pardon me.
Okay.
Yeah, due to the fact that the Baylor blew up and the flames were there. So,
Right.
yeah, we'll probably end up putting it out at some point or something. Another thing to just notice, this cavern is really hard to cross. So unless Adri figures out a way to like jump across or do something, she's actually stuck on sort of like a peninsula between earthquake fissures, and she'll have to figure out a way to kind of cross them. I made them large black things now so that you can see them a little more clearly.
So there should actually be, because there's the stairs here, there should actually be a set of stairs on the other side, and we fixed the walk across, so she can just go up, walk across,
Okay.
and come down.
Yeah, I see what you're saying now, and you're right. It would be sort of blocked by this wall that's down by her. And I do remember that we fixed the walls so that they span the gaps across the earthquake fissures. So yeah, I guess she can just walk around and come back down the stairs on the other side. I didn't realize it, but yeah, this wall here would probably block the view of any sort of stairs on the other side due to the perspective. All right, well that's good to think about then. At least we have a way across between these 2 fissures. Yeah, and I guess was there any other questions for today? I'm just gonna look into like more my to-do thing. Oh yeah, we had started looking at the cloak. Okay, so I got a little bit of a ruling to come down. I looked into the dispel magic whole thing, and you can only specifically dispel a magic item that causes a spell. So if it doesn't cast a specific spell, it doesn't actually, you can't dispel the magic from it. There's a whole thing about like apparently like destroying magic items that's a lot more in depth. But as far as the use of the spell dispel magic, it can only dispel a spell that's caused by an item, not the item itself. So yeah, I guess I'll just leave it at that. We had started looting. The reason I'm bringing it up is because in the battle I told you that you had dispelled it, and then we had started looting, and the Lich's cloak was not magical. However, I have to retcon that and actually say it was magical. It was casting Shield of Faith on him, and the cloak itself is it lowers your AC by 1, but then it casts Shield of Faith on you, which gives you an overall +1 AC on the item overall. And so that's still there. However, the way it works is if somebody was to dispel that item on you while it's happening, you would lose the spell Shield of Faith, and you would lose, so you'd be at a total of -3 AC on, or well, I mean without the spell shield, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I'll maybe even just like type it out if that makes more sense. Or does that make sense?
Vaguely, and maybe you got some numbers wrong, because you said it was a -1 and +1, which...
Oh no, Shield of Faith I think is +2.
Okay, so it takes 1 but gives 2.
Yeah, for a total of 1. I had originally had it as a cloak +1, but now this is a shield, a Shield of Faith cloak. I might text Adri. I'm just like chilling here. I'm like, wait, it's fucking like 10 minutes past. I bet she forgot.
You can look at the clock.
I know. I was thinking about too much of the campaign and stuff. All right, let me message her quick. guess that's how it gets when summer happens and restrictions get lifted and all those things. People come outside and they want to, you know, maybe they forget about the D&D, I guess. Alright, well, let's just start going ahead with the loot because that's not a big deal. We won't really need Adri here. I'll just kind of like move her around and keep her with us for now. But yeah, I think last time we had, like I said, we killed the Lich and the Baylor that came out from the temple, the desecrated grounds. And when we did that, the Baylor blew up, so he didn't get it. He won't give you guys anything, so we're getting all this stuff off of the Lich. And K-Leg, with his incredibly high perception, was able to see some of these items before we were able to defeat him. So, anyways, we had talked about the cloak. So, yeah, if everything's clear about that, I won't talk about it anymore. But if you need another explanation, I can. And then the Pearl of Power, which... oh, wait, the Pearl... Yeah, we identified... Oh, yeah, we identified everything. That was crazy. That was really good. I also figured out the 3 ways you can do it is Arcana checks. You can also do that short rest. Thank you for telling me about that, K-Leg. And then also the Identify spell. I actually didn't know about the short rest one, so that was important.
Yeah, I'd actually just read it quite recently before that, so otherwise I wouldn't have known either. So it was just fortuitous on our part.
Nice. Yeah, that was really cool because that will probably come into some of my other campaigns. I don't think our wizard in our Saturday campaign took Identify, so... regardless, yeah, they're like taking... Actually, I remember he didn't because they're taking a bunch of stuff to the Magic Guild, and then they spent a bunch of money on it. And I was like, oh, shit. I could have told them that they could take a short rest, but at the same time, you know, I let them do whatever. You know, they got to read that too. So anyways, regardless, thank you for telling me about that, K-Leg. So I know we did those first 2. He also had the Necklace of Adaptation and a Ring of Evasion. Now, I don't know if I described either of those items, the last 2, the necklace. I think I described the necklace. It protects you from cloud kill and stuff. And then the Ring of Evasion, just quickly...
I think we skipped explanations because you had to go DJ, so yeah, I don't think we've got explanations yet.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so like we passed all of our successful identifyings on these, so... you can look them all up in the thing there, the compendium. I always forget its name. But in the compendium, the Pearl of Power is there. Now, my compendium got all fucked up. See, when I bought the books, I thought everybody got the books. I thought like all my players would get the books too, but apparently it doesn't work that way. So, if I'm saying something's there, it might not be there, and I'm sorry.
There's something in the settings when you set up the game that says share compendium with players.
Oh, cool. You know, I can go change that actually right now. I might go try and do that. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, before Adri's here, why not? I actually didn't even know about that, so I was hoping... I kind of thought that was how it worked, too. Anyways. Alright, okay. So what I'm going to do, you're going to see me log out in the game. I'll still be in Discord or whatever, but... we can go ahead and do that. So and in the compendium, I'll type this in chat so you can go ahead and look through all of this while I do it, too. All these different items that we're going to have out here. You can disregard like the names beside everything and the equipped and all that bullshit. And the cloak is a Shield of Faith cloak, but it also applies a -1 AC when you attach it to yourself. And it also works as a cloak of +1, so I do not believe it needs attunement. Oh, I mean the Cloak of Protection. I thought there was like a Cloak +1, +2, +3. That's not how it works, apparently. It's like the Cloak of Protection, but it doesn't give you the +1 on saving throws. There you go. Alright, so you took Meta Magic Adept. Cool. Changed out Animate Objects for Dragon's Breath to let the flying snake be more helpful in combat. Okay, cool. So tell me about that Dragon's Breath spell. Well, I'm gonna log out and try and figure out where that settings is to share things. Now, K-Leg, do you know if it's in the pre-game setup or if it's actually in the game setup? Do I have to get out of the game, or should I stay in it?
It would be when you pull up the page to before you launch. There
Yep.
should be that says settings. So yeah, you'd have to log out.
All right, I'll go back. I'll log out. Oh, thanks for pinging it out there. You touch one willing creature and imbue it with the power to spew magical energy from its mouth. Dope. All right. Fly by Dragon's Breath. That's nice, man. And it's like an actual draconian dragon breath too. So it's a pretty good, powerful thing. All right, I'll be back in the session here quick, but I'll still be in Discord.
Is it too powerful? Is Medusa gonna fly backwards as she uses it?
I hope
Maybe.
so.
Who knows? Maybe if we changed it to force damage, I'd be like, yeah, and the force of shooting all that force forces her back 5 feet or something. Okay, settings. I got that. Going into the game settings. This is where it all goes down. Almost there. I should have add Dex tiebreaker to initiative. I usually have that in my games. Or I think I have it in my other one. Holy, there is so much stuff.
Yeah, and I'm still not sure what a good portion of it is.
Yeah, I'd have to check out a lot of it probably. Oh shit, I must have missed it. Let's go back here. Okay.
What do you mean, Dingle?
Nothing. I just leveled up, so I was wondering about it.
Yeah.
Oh, you can ask me a question.
We assume the level up comes with the rest, so everything should go back.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been part of the retconned reds. So, all right. Oh wait, are you wondering about your spell slots?
Oh yeah, that was a question I asked about.
Yeah, okay, I figured as much. Yeah, you can, I don't know, have you changed them yet?
Yeah, I restored him back to normal.
Okay, that's fine then. We'll leave it like that. Not a problem, actually. I was just wondering.
Word from Adria yet?
No, and I have personally messaged her, and she hasn't gotten back to me, which is normally players, when I get a hold of them personally, they're like, "Oh shit, yeah, okay, I remember." Unfortunately, I think maybe she's busy doing something. I'm not sure.
Running an errand.
Yeah, I know what you mean there, bud. Yeah. Okay, I'm looking for the compendium shit. Let's go. Come on, man. Oh, there's its own settings. Yes. Oh, there. Oh god. I was looking in the totally wrong area for so long. Available and I own will be shared with other players now. Fuck yeah, let's do it. Dungeon Master's Guide and the PHB. Save compendium settings, boys. Alright, everything is saved. I can go back to the game. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have to get out. maybe it might take effect automatically. We might have to reload, whatever, you know. But go ahead.
I logged out and came back in just in case.
Yeah, cool,
Oh, yeah,
cool.
just try that. And I'm back.
My roll 20 is lagging hard now. How does it look for you guys? You'd have like more stuff in your compendium now in the list. It'd have like races, rules, roll tables, things like that.
Yeah, it looks pretty good to me.
Oh yeah, and I'm zipping around now. This is good. Slick! Awesome. Okay, well, I'm glad. I just purchased those like last month at the very end of the month or something like that, so I didn't really know how to share them yet, but I'm glad I can. I was kind of bummed out for a sec. I was like, can I even share this? Hold up. I got to go do something else. I'm going to also share it with my other game quick. While we wait for Adri, and then, 5 minutes from now, if she's not here, we'll just start going with the session and doing everything else. And I will just play her character. All right. Yeah, I'll be like 2 seconds, and yeah, we'll go from there. I'm just gonna make it so that everybody has it on my other games quick. Now that I learned how to do it, I have to give it to everybody. All right, that's good to go. So, oh yeah, my other people I just told them in my other Discords, in my other chats, I'm like, yeah, I just figured out how to give you the shit so that you actually have it now. Yeah, and I'm starting to pull together some of the players for the campaign. Will be starting after this one, and so they're starting their character creations like this week, kind of just in the background. And so some of them were asking about that. They're like, "Oh, can I access this stuff?" And I'm like, "Well, I guess not." And now everyone can. All right, I'm on our way back into this game. No word from Adri. 5 more minutes, and we are just going. Blasting the session out. So does anybody, my stuff's still loading right now, does anybody remember the time we're at? I think we're still like T minus like 11.4 or 75 hours. Like it was like 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, just 12.
Awesome. Yeah, we had just started the whole battle with the Lich kind of thing at 12, and then we kind of did some looting and all that stuff we were saying. So cool. All right, here I'm getting my sheets pulled up. Gonna pull up Adri's today because she'll be under my watch. Okay, looks like all my sheets are good. Oh, 1 sec, I'll just make sure. Yeah, and we'll probably just start with looting and talking about all that stuff. Just gotta check one thing, stand by. Do it. I got something wrong and I caught it just at the beginning of the session, so that's good. All right. So, we have finished killing the Lich there. We're starting to loot it. We were talking about kind of where all the loot should go, who should have it. And I think we had started to say that Dingle was going to get the Pearl of Power. Now, if you guys need, I don't know if you looked it up in the compendium, any of the stuff that I typed out there, but if you need any clarification, just let me know. I can go through that right now.
All right.
Alright, so yeah, also I want to keep an eye on how many, I think I had asked everyone to at least try and take account of all of the attuned items they have, just so that we have an idea through the party of how many attuned items we have. That way we can divvy this up. So yeah, Cage will look around and he'll say, well, it looks like we have quite the stash here, and we know what they all are. I was wondering if any of you have some ideas. I was thinking, obviously, we'd all agreed that Dingle should take the Pearl of Power, clearly. And, well, I already have a cloak that I like quite a lot. But maybe somebody else would like one of these cloaks. And maybe we'll just start there with this cloak here. It seems, and I'll just say we passed our Arcana check on that one too, because now that I've retconned it, it is a magic item, so we'll just give you that. It seems to be a Shield of Faith type cloak. It'll give you +1 AC, as long as it's still functioning and doesn't get dispelled. So yes, like I said, I already have quite a nice cloak, and I kind of like flourish my my Naga scale cloak that I have, and I'm kind of like, you know, well, what do you guys think? Who has cloaks and who needs one?
Yeah, I should be good. I say we let someone else get this one, like Adri.
All right. Yeah, I'll check her sheet. I think I asked her to do the attuned items thing, and that's where we left off. We were talking about attuned items and the whole compendium thing and how some of it wasn't right. And anyways, regardless, yeah, she had the staff. I'm just quickly going through hers so that she can give you an idea of if she would take it or not. I'm pretty sure I put this in here for her, though. Alright, as long as the handy haversack is not, and I'm like 98% sure is not, she can take one more. Yeah, it's just one of those items, wondrous kind of adventuring items. So yeah, she'll take it. I'll go ahead and add that to her sheet right now. Dingle, you can go ahead and make sure you have the Pearl of Power.
Oh yeah, I have it.
Sounds good. All right, what was next up on there? I'm still just putting this into her stuff right now and looking through her sheet a little bit, and I don't remember. Ah, the necklace of adaptation. So this was one that I described. It kind of protects you from different like cloudy effects or poison gas effects, fumes, stuff like that, smoke and all that kind of thing. Yeah, I don't remember if it needs attunement, but I think, and also Cadril is pretty full up. So now Adri is full up. She can't really take anything more, so she won't be interested in it. And then I'll just check Cadril's sheet quickly. And where are you guys sitting with attuned items?
I have 2. The Cloak of Protection and the Pearl of Power.
Cool.
It depends. That mace that I took from whatever demon we fought when we first got here. I don't know what it's called, or if it's in the compendium, but so I don't know if that has attunement.
Okay, it doesn't have any attunement to it. And then I think we statted it out one day. Do you still have all the stats for it? If not, I can grab it and we can stat it out again.
I have it in my I have it on my character sheet.
Okay, cool.
Just, for damage and stuff, but okay, so if that's not, then I have 2.
Okay, so Cadril will let you guys fight over the last 2 items. There is the Necklace of Adaptation, and I don't remember, the Ring of Evasion. And the Ring of Evasion, it's kind of like a legendary dex saves. If you fail a dex save, you can choose to pass it. And then it takes one of the charges of the Ring of Evasion, and they have 3 per day, and it regains, I think it's like 3 or 4 per day, or maximum charges, and it regains 1d3 or something like that every day. So I'll let you guys talk about that, whether or not you want to have an evasion ring or something that might help you with withstanding some sort of like cloud or vapors or fumes. And Cadril's kind of not really that interested. He's already got his cloaks and some other stuff. He's holding on to the Gem of Brightness and stuff. He's kind of happy with what he's got, so.
Since you're mostly in the front lines, I think you should probably get the Ring of Evasion. I think both of them would actually be pretty good for you.
I think the thing is, though, each of you only has 1 slot. Unless you want to trade out and reattune to some items. We could work on that.
How many do we get? I thought we got 4.
Oh, no, I think it's only 3.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I think I just made up a number in my head.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, one of them is that Staff of Charming that I got.
Oh, does that push you to 3, or is that just one of your magical items?
No, the staff is one of my 2.
Okay, so you're thinking maybe you could trade that to Dingle, and then you could take both of these ones for front lining.
Correct.
Oh yeah, I'd take that.
Okay, Staff of Charming. It's in the compendium.
All right, cool.
Sounds good to me, friends. I'm glad we could all come to a amicable agreement.
Like a pretty sweet staff. It's just Caleb doesn't use it that often.
Yeah. Although this I could take a good amount of advantage of. There's a lot to work with this charm, or staff.
Yeah, part of the reason she doesn't use it is because she's not in elf form a lot of the time. So
Cool. So guess what? I just heard back from Adri. Let's I want to hear your guys' guesses onto what's going on with her. Like, just give me some sort of weird, fantastical idea of what maybe happened here, and then I'll tell you the real one.
She's probably just busy.
her dog got out and she had to chase it down.
All right. Well, neither of those are really close, but apparently, she didn't realize today was Sunday, which is okay, interesting, and she's in no condition to play D&D currently, and I'm like, huh, what the hell did you do? We definitely have partied hard, Adri and I, back in the day, so I can imagine that maybe, last night she enjoyed a few too many beverages or something like that, and ended up...
I didn't realize you guys knew each other before.
Oh, yeah, actually Adri's one of my friends from back home. I don't live there anymore. But yeah. Anyways, so it's kind of funny because I can imagine her very clearly, like, having a good time with some friends and, just kind of like enjoying the moment maybe a bit too much and forgetting about the responsibilities of D&D, but apparently she's extremely hungover, which would explain why she didn't get back to me right away and, didn't get back to me until like 1:38. Regardless, she says it's okay to just keep going. So that's fine. We'll just keep going. I think she trusts us as players and as a team. So that's the status, and we'll just keep burning through. Yeah. But that takes us through our looting. Hey, we're good to go. So you guys have your sheets all cleared up now. Dingle, you've added your staff, and K-Leg, you've added both of your new items.
Yep.
I looked them up, but forgot to add them, so I'm doing that now.
Fair enough. That's why I figured I'd mention it, because I do the same thing all the time, and I have to remind myself to add that new item to Adri's list, which I just want to double check. But yeah, we're good to go. So yeah, the Lich's like decomposed kind of shitty body is in front of us. We've just defeated him, and the Baylor has just exploded. That little tiny hut over by Adri where she was is kind of on fire. And yeah, Cater looks around and he says, well, now that we've taken all of the items off of the Lich here, what do you think we should do with the body?
Do we need to keep it?
I don't think so. Maybe I could maybe do something with it if we have a little bit of time. Maybe I'll check if I have the right necessary ingredients to maybe turn this corpse into something fun. But for now, I don't think I can, and well, I don't really have any use beyond it. So I'll just look through my pack here and make sure I have enough of the necessary ingredients. I might not, but if you have no other ideas of uses for a corpse or something like that, I think maybe we should just try and burn it or something and get rid of it, and that way it can't be possessed again or something by these undead creatures that keep assailing us.
Well, that is a good point. I was just going to kick it in the hole, but...
I mean, we could just bury it. I don't think people would know it's there if it's really buried or anything like that, so... Oh yeah, I wasn't gonna do it. Okay. No. Oh, looks like I don't quite have all of the components that I would need for doing what I thought I might be able to do with this person. So,
what do you need?
What was that?
What do you need?
It turns out I need a lot of time, and I do not think we'll have the amount of time. In fact, I need over 12 hours, and from what Soul has already told us, the army of Javrok will be upon us in the morning at some point, and well, I don't think I will have enough time to finish this before we are assailed, unless potentially somebody could protect me. But then again, I would need to prepare the spell, and I haven't prepared it either, which takes I need to have a long rest in between that. So unfortunately, it doesn't seem I would be able to use this corpse in any sort of fashion that I would want to.
Yeah, we can just burn it.
All right, I'm into that. I think that's a good idea. Oh, look at that over there. That little house, it's still burning from the Baylor's explosion there. That almost killed Adri. Do we want to put that out, or should we just toss him on it, or what are you thinking?
Toss him in. Does a job for us.
All right. Here, Dingle, grab the ankles. Sorry, Kayleg, what were you saying?
We don't need the house, so we could let it burn with the body on it.
All right, let's do that. Just gonna take us over there. Here. There, right on it. And I'll put a little thing on the map for us. There, that looks good, right? You can see the token, the fire, everything.
Yep.
All right, let's see. Okay, so he's burning away, and we've got all his loot. Let's go back. Good to go. Okay. All right, well, now that that's dealt with, I guess we would probably all need to rest quite a bit. I know I spent quite a lot of my energy counterspelling the crap out of that fucking undead bastard. And, well, he's almost got me tapped out. So, I know I will need to take a small rest. Maybe we should discuss who will take watch, while I'm sure Saif, our cleric here, and Dingle will also need to rest as well. Dingle, just for purposes, this is where you would, this is how you're getting all your stuff back. You're back to 19. You're going to take a long rest here, essentially. So, and then we're going to have some of the elves take watch. Saif is going to join you. She speaks up. She's like, oh, yes, I do need to rest. Master Dingle, would you like to join me in one of these houses, and we'll find somewhere nice to sit down?
No, I'll use another house.
Oh, fine. Yes, that's quite all right. I'll just go to this house over here. All right, well, Kayleg, I'm wondering, when would you like to take a rest? Would you like to take first watch, or would you like to rest right off the bat?
Yes, I will take first watch. You go ahead and go rest.
All right, I'll go rest. Adri, come with me. We'll both take. Well, actually, I'll see what she says. Yeah, come with me. We'll rest, and we'll see if she wants to rest or if she does not. Above 10, she does. Above or below 10, she'll come join you, Kayleg. Alright, so you can come rest with me. Not with me, though. I see where that's going now, actually. She's not resting with me. She's just, like, choosing to rest. There we go. We're in separate houses. Boom. All of us platonically enjoying a rest. Love it. Yes, no. Kayleg. Okay, cool. End of a day. We're all getting the rest. We're all 19. We're all rested up. I'm going to put everybody's HP back. Take all your hit points, all that stuff. Get the long rest that you need. You know what I'm talking about. To be prepared for the morning. All right. Kayleg. Just bringing up my sheet here. You can roll a D100, and then I'll just let you know what happens during your watch. As I employ a pretty heavy amount. I was talking to some people about it. I was like, I employ a pretty heavy amount of randomness in these things. Like, some people don't quite do it this way. But anyways, where are we at? 83, right? Yeah, okay, good. Let's go back. All right. Oh, interesting. It's a full moon, and full moon doesn't really this full moon doesn't affect any of us. Okay, all right.
We
It's
can't do that.
pardon, yeah, and you wouldn't really be able to see it. You're keeping watch inside a cave, so yeah. And regardless, even if somebody was to go out and interact with this moon, it has a special thing that nobody really interacts with specifically. So, regardless, that's just a neutral one. That's a nothing. So we move on. It's not a boon. It's not a failure. It's not anything bad. It's not anything good. That's how rolls go some days. Now your rest. So yeah, your watch ends after 4 hours. At this point, you know that Adri and Kadril are both ready to awaken, so you can go wake them up. Oh yeah, T minus. Yeah, that's exactly right. You've got this. You've got the time now. I was gonna do it at the end of all the 8 hours, but you're on point, so that's good. All right. Oh, is that you, K-Lake?
No, this is the great pirate Roberts.
Oh, who's it? What?
Yes, it's me.
Oh, I should have known. Don't scare me like that.
Sorry, I don't know what came over me. Must be the moon.
Haha, must be.
Are you ready to take watch, or do you want to rest some more?
Oh, I'm ready. I'll go wake up Adri. Maybe if you haven't done it already, and we'll go do it together.
Sent Medusa to go do that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's good. All right. Tell me what Medusa's doing to wake up Adri.
Gonna tickle her ear with her tongue.
And she'll kind of scream, "Ah, what the?" And she'll bat away at it, but obviously the tiny flying snake is way too dexterous and it doesn't get hit or anything. But she's kind of like swatting at it, and then she looks at Medusa and says, "Medusa, I didn't know you were so mischievous."
Medusa's gonna chuckle a little. I don't know what came over us.
Well, that's good to see that we're all still in high spirits, considering what lies ahead of us. I'm glad to see we can all still smile.
Kadra, I was wondering something. How do we know how close they are?
Well, Sol gave us an estimate on the scouting reports that she had from her Empire scouts. She saw that they were leaving the prison at a certain day, and just by sort of guessing about how quickly they travel and keeping tabs on them a little bit, they were able to estimate that they are going to come here sometime in the morning. Now, they believed that they would arrive, whenever we've given this sort of time that we have for it, which is, I guess, what is it actually? It's like 8 in the morning or 10 in the morning.
I don't remember that.
All right, well, I have it written down, so I will go look it up because I can't believe I forgot.
Been doing the T minus for long enough that I forgot what time it actually
I
is.
know we don't have the actual time, but I have it written down here with all the T minuses. So, okay, so we did that. Oh yeah, and then he went. Okay, so right now we have it set up that he's gonna show up at 11 a.m. So that means right now it is minus 7.75 would be 4. It's 3.75 in the morning, so it's 3:45 a.m.
Wouldn't it be 3:15?
Yeah, wait, 3:15. I'm like, that's so wrong. That doesn't even add up. It's actually, and it's 4:15, I think.
No, because.
Oh no, okay, so he's showing up at
minus
noon.
3.
Apparently, he's showing up around noon.
If it's noon, then yeah, it's 4:15.
Yeah, that's what it should be. That's how it all works out. Yeah, so we still have 7.75, but that's actually not 11 a.m. It's actually noon time. So, But yeah, that's Kadril lets you know, Kaleg, that we're just going kind of off the scouting reports of the Empire and Soul's kind of like forces.
But what if they go faster? Or what if they go slower? Or...
Well, I guess we'll come to that when it happens. I mean, unless we have a way of dealing with it or seeing what they're doing or up to, I think that's the best intel we have.
Well, I had a thought. I was thinking of maybe taking a flight and trying to find them.
Oh, that's not that bad of an idea. Do you think that will impact your ability to fight in the morning if it comes to that?
Depends on how long it takes me.
Interesting. That's a difficult trade-off.
But if it takes me too long, I could just stay in whatever form I choose and until I can't stay in it any longer.
That is true. I'm wondering if maybe there's a way that we could send Medusa or something, because she could relay messages to us.
How can she do that?
Well, now that she can see and speak to us, she should be able to fly, because she's quite dexterous and quick and nimble. She should be able to fly and maybe scout out the direction they're coming from, and hopefully she is keen enough with her eyes to find the patterns and movements of the army, and then once she's done, she could fly back here and report it. I mean, potentially.
Right. If she gets back in time, yes. Yes, that could work. Medusa, are you up for a solo trip?
I'll let you actually control Medusa now. You can roleplay Medusa. I normally do, but I feel like maybe you should. Do you want to roleplay Medusa?
Medusa sounds like this now. No, just kidding.
I wouldn't hate it. I'd be like, that's cool. She's battle hardened now.
No. Okay.
You don't have to if you don't want to. I can continue to play Medusa how I've been. I just like had a weird.
Yeah, I kind of liked it because then I couldn't pre-plan a Medusa thing. Like it wouldn't be my decision to make her go along with my plans. So
Cool. I like that. It gives me the ability to give her autonomy. So I will do that. I will give her autonomy, and this will actually even roll for it to see if she feels comfortable enough going out on her own in the nighttime to see what she can see. As she is a tiny flying snake, she might not enjoy that idea. However, she knows that this is a dire moment, and one night of risk might be very much worth it. So plus 10, she's going. Below 10, she's too scared. Ah, yes. Kaleg, I think I could do this for you. I know how much it means to you.
you're just so wonderful.
All right, Kaleg, I will go now and report back to what I see, she says in Elvish, and then disappears.
Try to hurry, but do be careful.
I will. Alright, I'm just going to do... I actually have a specific amount of movement and space that these things can all travel, because due to Adri having that animal messenger, I had to calculate spaces and times and how fast things move at specific whatever, blah, blah, to miles from feet per second and all of it. So, I'm going to do the same thing quickly with Medusa, and that way we get a true understanding if she has the speed and where she'll end up for this whole encounter, or if she makes it back and lets us know beforehand, anything like that. So, she has a fly and a walk speed of 30 that I can apply. She won't be swimming, so we won't apply that.
I thought her flight speed was 60.
Oh, yeah, 60. Altogether, it's 90. So, yeah, doubled as she's dashing. I give her 180 per 6 seconds is her feet. And then I'll just calculate that to miles using Google. It's 30 feet per second because it's 180 divided by 6 seconds for a turn. So then we just got to go to miles per hour. Yeah, miles per hour. It's interesting. I'm not used too much to miles per hour. She can go 20 miles per hour. Damn, this snake can clip way faster than the bat. The bat was very slow. It went 50 miles a day. This girl can do that in like 3 hours. So yeah,
My God.
yeah, Medusa's damn fast. All right, cool. I guess that's why they have like flyby and everything. These things are extremely fast. So regardless,
Yeah.
I do, let me calculate that out actually. I didn't finish calculating out. So 20 per hour, that's not going to take very long. Okay. All right. Yeah, I got it. Okay, cool. So she's on her adventure. She's gone. She will return at some point. Or I'm not telling you that. She might not. Who knows? Blah, blah, blah. But anyways, I'm just putting her over on the side there for now. Okay. We have Medusa scouting. That's good. That kind of will bring Cadril alive, and he'll be like, oh, that's right. We need to maybe make some fortifications around this place. Do you want to rest right now, Kaleg, or is there anything that you could maybe do? I know you've created such a nice barricade. Nothing can pass through that for now. But what I'm wondering is, maybe there's something else that you'd want to do before you go to bed. But once you go to bed, I'm going to start setting up different magical traps and things for people when they come here.
Oh, that is awesome. I do not know what else I would do until people got closer. But let me check just in case. Let me think about it for a minute.
Okay, you go hang out in one of these nice huts that we have here, and you can think about what you might be able to contribute. And I'll go start making some preparations while I keep watch for the night. I'll go see what Adri's up to. All right, yeah, Adri and I see she's just sort of getting ready after being startled by Medusa, and now that she's finished getting ready, we are going to sit on top of the wall, hang out, and watch for enemies. Coming up with a 35 on the random watch scale. Oh, interesting. A pack of wolves is heard howling outside of the cave. They're howling at the moon. There's an
Moon.
yeah, there's an option here where like you can go and encounter them. Cadril and Adri have no intentions of trying to encounter these wolves. And it says if you don't encounter them, they just start hearing the wolf pack howl from farther away. So they are kind of serenaded. Another neutral one. Interesting. Well, it ends up being a neutral one for us. Cool. No positives, no negatives. We're just getting what we got as we go into this final area. So Cadril is going to do some things. I'm just going to go... I made a list of all the kind of like wizardly things that I can do to prepare for this battle. And then I'm going to have to go look at Adri's too, because I do want to get her set up as if she was doing the same thing because she's with me. And then we'll just go into waking up in the morning, and Dingle, you're up. Asayef will be up. Everybody will be awake, and we'll all be starting to discuss the sort of final preparations for defending this place. All right, my battle prep sheet. I have one for Asayef, I have one for Cadril, and now I have to just make a quick one for... Well, I don't have to make one, but I'll have to do the preparations for Adri. So, yeah, Cadril is... let's see here. Oh, yeah, he switched out some spells. I'll go do that. And then... Oh yeah, he's going to prepare an elemental and a magic jar. The magic jar he'll prepare ahead of time, but the elemental he won't cast until he's kind of ready. So he's got sort of like a magic jar with him, and the intent to cast a elemental that he's going to try and use in this big battle. And I'll go to Adri now. Asayef actually doesn't have any specific battle preps, but she does have, a divine intervention. And she had one last night and today. Okay. Oh no, she's only one in 24 hours. That's right. So she's going to do a divine intervention, and she's going to ask you guys in the morning what you want to have done. So I'll bring everybody kind of back down, or I guess they can stay up on the wall while we all talk. We'll all just kind of like hang out. Yeah, Saif will join you on the wall there. Everybody can come up there if you want. Yeah, Dingo's gonna wait. Cool. Yeah, like there's like some things you can set up in advance, right? And other things not so much. I think Asayef has to do this, and then she has some other cool cleric stuff she can set up in advance. So first off, though, Asayef will look at you all, and she says, as you're all waking up, coming to the top of the thing here, she sees that Kadro's kind of prepping this magic jar, and she says, "Oh, right. Are we doing any sort of battle preparations today? Is that what's going on?" And Kadro will look like, yeah, everybody, if you have an idea of what you can do to help before the battle, let's get prepared. And then Asayef looks to everyone and she says, "Well, I do have one thing. I can beseech my god for maybe a bit of assistance. I just don't know exactly what we're up against, so maybe if you guys had some different ideas of what I might ask my god for, let me know, and then I can do it for you."
Oh, it's too bad that Medusa is not back yet. She would have more information for you.
Ah, that's true. I wonder where she is.
I don't have a way of talking to her when she's far away.
Also, we are now moving past the T minus 3.75 hour mark. You don't see Medusa yet. She'll probably come back around sometime, but not right now. So, you guys, she's kind of wondering she's wanting some guidance for what you guys think might be a cool idea to ask her god for in this upcoming battle. The thing about divine intervention, if you don't understand it, that's fine. You can look it up in the compendium. And it basically just is like you get to beseech the gods for something. It's a low percentage roll on a D100, but if it hits, it's usually like really dope. Like you can get something really dope, and the DM will usually be like, yeah, that's fine. You just made a low percentage roll, so go ahead and have something cool.
And at your level or lower?
What's that?
How low you have to roll?
Oh yeah, it's your level. Yeah, so she is level 14, I believe. I'll go check her sheet again because she has leveled up with you guys as you've battled the Baylord and all that type of stuff. Fought your way in here and fought your way to here at the safe house and stuff. So she's been leveling up as we go. Let's see, where is her sheet? I had it up here and then I just exited it. I'm pretty sure she's level 14. It's taking a while to load right now. I don't know why. Yeah, so we have a 14% roll on the D100 to hit what we're asking for, essentially. I guess it's not that bad of a... It's not that low of a percentage roll. What's that, like? It's a little less than a D... It's like a D8. It's like hitting a 1 on a D8 if you're... Or like hitting an 8 on a D8. Little bit better than 10%. But yeah, what do you guys think? You guys can ask her essentially to do anything. I'll leave it up to both of you, whether or not you want to ask for something like specific or you just want to ask for something general. But you guys can go ahead and deal with what we want to do for our divine intervention, what we want to beseech the gods for in helping us with this kind of final battle.
Yeah. So I have a thought for a question, but just because numbers is kind of something I like to play with. If the army is still going to be showing up at noon, like you said, for her to make it to them and make it back before they get there, it wasn't really working out in my head. So I don't know. I don't know what you have planned though. So I don't want you to tell me. But if that's how it worked, then I don't know. Anyway, so my question, my thought would be asking who who is the strongest, or who do we need to take care of to end this quick?
Okay. Dingle, what are you thinking about this?
Still thinking for now.
All right, well, she can hold on to it for a bit. She's like, all right, we'll take our time and think about it for a moment. If I need to, I can definitely ask my god a question, and they will be able to give us an answer if we hit it correctly. Or we could ask that, like I think you were saying, that we could get Medusa back faster, if that's a thing. We're not exactly sure when she'll be returning, so we could ask for divine favor for her to come back unharmed and very fast. But I will leave that up to you for a few more moments as you make your decisions. Is there any other battle preparations that any of you want to do, though? And she kind of looks around to you guys, Dingle, K-Leg, as she kind of looks into her pouch and grabs some other things.
I would like to make all the bad guys go away.
Oh yes, that would be good. I don't know if that would be something in the power of my god, but we could definitely ask and see what might happen.
Let's see. Can you ask your god to reset up the effects of Sanctuary?
Oh, that would be cool.
I definitely could do that, and I'm sure that's something my god could bestow upon us quite easily. If we were to, have the favor in the moment. AKA pass the roll, but yeah.
So it all depends on how much your god likes you and how powerful he is?
Yes, my god is very much spread between many, many people, and in any given time, you must give some sort of energy or a bit more power to your calls to him or them in that time, and hopefully if you give enough power and energy, you have a better chance of receiving their blessing or at least their attention. My god especially is a very spread out god, and for us to receive its favor, we do need to entreat it in a certain way. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it does, well, then we will feel the blessings and the divine touch. All right, well, if nobody else has anything to do, I do believe I have one thing I can do. And I am going to, oh, wait. I think I'm going... Did we have some questions about... This is what I was going to do. Did we have some questions about maybe where they are? I think, actually, I might be able to scry on either this army that we've talked about, or on Medusa if we want to know how quickly she might be coming back, or where she is, which way she's heading.
Well, I believe in Medusa. We could scry on her if everyone thinks it's okay, but if we could find out where. Of course, if we find out where the army is, then Medusa's trip might have been pointless, but I'm thinking.
Yes, I'm not sure that in scrying I would be able to get a good enough understanding of where and how far they are from the mountain, unless they are sort of in a clearing and I can maybe see the mountainside from where they are. But if not, it might be just pure dense forest and I wouldn't have a understanding of exactly where they are. Although we would have an understanding maybe of how many there are with them and what kind of creatures they have.
This scrying thing seems like a very, very cool trick.
It can be when it works. It's sometimes very difficult to pull off, but the stronger the connection I have with the subject, the more likely I am to have a positive outcome when I perform the magic.
I see. Wait, do you have a connection to anyone that is coming?
I mean, I only really have a connection to Sol, Aurelia, and I have met Captain Thelreg before he's sent out, so, I mean, between the Empire forces, I do have a connection with them. However, I could maybe establish a connection with these evil creatures if there's something around this area that potentially has something to do with them, maybe was possessed by them at one point. But other than that, I'm not sure I can do much more than try my best with the knowledge I have. If you think it's worth it, we could take an investigation and look around, see if there's something that might help the scrying. If I could get a bit of a better connection, it will help me. Something like a picture, or maybe the possession of a garment, or something like that. That would help me in scrying any way I could, but if not, I mean, it would only help so much. My knowledge of the subject is truly what kind of impacts the scrying, and because I really only have second-hand knowledge, this will be pretty difficult scrying. It's better if I've met the person, or if maybe they're my friend or something, then it becomes much easier, but if I only have heard of somebody, it's a bit of a difficult process. However, I have gotten good at it over the years, and it's probably still worth a chance even if we can't find anything.
Well, you guys sleep in the houses. Did you guys see anything while you were in there?
Dingle, you can go ahead and roll me a... Oh, I guess what's your memory? It's intelligence, isn't it? Just to see if you remember seeing anything in there.
I guess it would be insight or maybe investigation.
Yeah, let's go with investigation.
19.
Alright, so we'll say, like, while you were in there, you took a look around before you went to bed. You did happen to find a bunch of, like, pamphlets, like propaganda pamphlets, like, that they hand out in war times. And on one of these propaganda pamphlets was the likeness of their leader. It was a picture of him kind of sketched out, you know, by hand. And, you know, underneath it, it had all this sort of propaganda about how, you know, they're going to bring Orcus back to this reality and take over our domain. And they have the, you know, the blessings of Tharizdun and all that. And the new demon lord Orcus will be the new lord of this realm and all that type of stuff. And on that propaganda sheet, yeah, you do find, because you hit a 19, well done, a pamphlet that has a picture of him.
Alright, I tell you guys about it.
Oh, Dingle, this is wonderful. This is exactly what I need. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, well, I guess it's no time like the present. I'll start this little ceremony, and I'll probably be locked in for about 10 minutes while I seem to be looking through otherworldly eyes. Do not be alarmed at this. When it is finished, I will tell you what I've seen, and then we can discuss further what I've learned. Okay, and so just out of the whole scrying columns and pages, now you have given her a -2 on the save modifier, which helps so that the save is lower. And we have a second-hand knowledge, which is not very good, so it adds a +5. So overall, it's a +3 to the save. Now, a wild alpha string appeared. I like that. Anyways, yeah, so it's a +3 to the guy making the save. Now I have to make the save from the person we're scrying on, who is Javrok Doomstrider, the leader of the army of Orcus and the cultists. Let's see if he can pass a wisdom saving throw to stop Asayaf from peeking in on him. So he gets a +3 and he has a natural +2. So here we go. +5, roll d20, and I gotta get a save DC actually so that we can just know if it happens. I don't want to have to go look at it after. 17 for Asayaf. +5. Here we go. Oh, 21. Asayaf tries to crack the veil of psychic energy. I don't know. Around the mind of Javrok Doomstrider. However, she is not able to penetrate. And she looks at you guys and she says, "Dang, I thought I really had it that time. I thought this pamphlet would help, but I don't know. It seemed like I was very close, but his aura was just too strong."
That's okay.
All right. Well, I'm not sure what you want to do now. I do have one other thing, though. Kaleg, you had mentioned that you wanted to ask the god something, I think. And I was just thinking there might be something I can do about that.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, I believe I can ask about the future, and my god can give me some sort of insight into the future. It usually comes in the form of a cryptic rhyme or some sort of omen or a phrase. And I'm glad that everyone's here right now because, well, it would help me if maybe I do this. I might not understand what my god is saying, but with everybody else here, we can all pitch in and try and figure it out together. Maybe I should do this and we can try and see if my god will give us an idea of what's going to happen here in the next little while. Maybe also, I'm not exactly sure what to ask, so if you have some burning questions, please, I mean, by all means, let me know what you're thinking.
How many do we get?
Well, I think, let me just read it. I think it's only one question, right? Magic ability?
Yeah, it says one, but
Alright, so she can cast it.
Caleb wasn't doing it, so.
Oh, well, I could ask him many questions. Actually, if you ask it, how can you cast it again? I gotta read the bottom. Yeah, there's a cumulative 25% chance that you get a random reading, so just nothing. Something that has nothing to do with anything. Okay, so she'll say this. Well, I can ask him many questions, but as I ask him and pester him a bit more, his answers will become less and less desirable. In fact, one time I did it so much that most of the answers just ended up being completely misunderstandable garbage that had nothing to do with anything. However, if we don't get our answer on the first try, I could definitely try again. I could also maybe try again on the scrying, but I'm not exactly sure about how it works there. I'd have to probably consult my little cleric book, my prayer book, on that one. But if you want me to ask a question, I definitely can go ahead now and we could do this.
Well, I am curious what it would take to end this quickly, or who do we need to beat up so that everyone else goes away, or I don't know, something like that where we can because just because this guy is the leader doesn't mean that he is the most powerful or something like that.
Oh yes, I see what you mean. We could definitely ask about that. I think that'd be a good idea to ask how or who we would need to dispatch maybe to finish this and end this kind of cultism that has grown here. Dingle, do you have any other ideas, or maybe we should just ask that question? I'm not sure.
Got nothing. You guys can ask away.
All right, well, if that works for you, then Kaleg, I think that'd be fine. We can see who is truly behind all of this chaos. I think that might be a good way to say it. I'm not sure. The phrasing is always so interesting because my god can be very cryptic in their answers, so maybe what kind of phrasing do you think I should use? I could just ask it straight out like that, but if you have a better phrasing, let me know.
Well, I mean, if we ask who's behind the chaos, he could just say Orcus, and we already know that, sort of.
True, yes, I guess we need to know something more specific.
Like maybe what would it take to end this, or how do we defeat them, or are we all going to die?
Well, I'm not sure if I'd want to know if I'm going to die, but I could ask it. I think maybe asking about the battle if there's something that we can do in the battle to change the tide, I think that might be a good one. How we can defeat them was, I think that was a good question.
Thank you.
All right. Well, here I'll ask my god, and we will see whether he knows about this specific goal or event that it will occur within 7 days. He will have to offer a truthful reply, which is awesome. But it might be, a bit cryptic, or might be an omen. So, all right. I'm just trying to read because there's one part, I'm just interpreting it now. The spell doesn't take into account any possible circumstances that might change the outcome, such as the casting of additional spells or the loss or gain of a companion. Okay. I'm just seeing if there's any specific rules on what I can tell you and can't. That's one of them. And then it just keeps going downhill from that.
That's promising.
All right. So, this is what I'll say. As a Saif leans down and she grabs some incense and, some sacrificial offerings, and she kind of brings them together. She has some flowers around her that she's offering, and together all of this, it equals 25 gold pieces. You just all happen to know that. Anyways. And she starts speaking kind of softly, entreating her god. And then in the end of her kind of mantra, she asks, "Please, tell us, is there any way to defeat this enemy quickly? Or is there any special way to defeat them?" And there's a quiet silence, and this god speaks directly to her. And you can kind of see as she leans her head up and closes her eyes, it seems she's receiving some sort of message from above. And when she looks back, she says, "Well, he told me to cut the head off the snake, and the body will die faster than if you were to stab it many times."
I'm not killing Medusa.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize he must have been talking about Medusa. We have to... Oh no, I'm kidding, K-Leg. I don't think he was talking about Medusa. Although, maybe he was. And she kind of gives you a wry laugh and kind of a wink.
Caleb's gonna fold her arms and pout.
Oh, don't worry. I think I like Medusa far too much to be sacrificing her in any sort of way. I think it's a cryptic message that has something to do with the army. I think we have to find out who is the head of the army, and maybe if we can kill them first. You said all of you know it's Javrok. She's kind of out of the loop. She's not as in touch, pardon me, and doesn't have as much information, so she's going to look to you guys and say, "So you said that it was a man named Javrok. I think what my god means is that we have to attack him first, rather than wasting our time trying to kill all of his friends. Does that sound correct?"
I mean, if he is in charge, then maybe, yeah.
All right, there could be something else, though. I remember Soul talked about the old Council of Vampires who originally led the cultists back when they ruled this area for a while. And I wonder if maybe they're speaking about the Council of Vampires as well. It seems, once again, my god has given me some sort of cryptic message that isn't exactly what I wanted, but still provides some sort of insight into what we might be able to do during this battle.
Your god doesn't play fair.
No, I think, unfortunately, he finds joy in messing with all of us mortal creatures a little bit. All right, well, is there any other battle preparations that we think we might need? I might look back in my pack again here quickly and see what other things I can pull out for preparing for battle.
Maybe after Medusa gets back, we can we might know something else. Maybe.
Oh, yes, that's right. I do have one last thing I can do for you, Kaleg. I actually could probably locate the creature. As long as it's within 1,000 feet of me. You know, I could probably reach out and my god might be able to point us in the way or let me know if the direction of the creature, if it's within, you know, a certain range of me.
So Kalig would agree to it. But how fast did you say she moves?
She moves 180 feet every 6 seconds, which is 30 feet per second, so it's about 20 miles per hour, I believe. Yeah, 20.45.
I just had the thought that, you know, Kalig wouldn't know this. You know, she'd be like, "Oh, that's great. Go ahead and." But but I looked at it and I was like, "Okay." She's like, "Okay, there's Medusa. She'll be here in 5 seconds."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah, she'll go ahead and cast it, and she'll just let you know that, because you said it's all good. She'll let you know that it is within 1,000 feet, and that, yeah, Medusa is actually probably coming back right away. So, you'll see here in just a couple minutes. All right, now I just
Then,
gotta go ahead.
Kalig can sit cross-legged on the parapet and just wait.
Sounds good. I'm just balancing out all my spells that she cast right now because I want to make sure I have a good count on all of them. Booyah. Spent 3 spell slots, got some good information from our god. Alright, well, after that, she will look back to you guys. She says, well, that's basically everything I have. Other than... Oh, pardon me. Other than this divine intervention, I'm ready to do it whenever, but I'm just still maybe looking for the group's guidance on this.
And which one was that?
That's the one that can actually affect reality. It's the low percentage D100 one, so 14 or below.
Well, so Kalig's still focused on waiting for Medusa, since she knows she's getting close.
Oh, yes. Actually, let's wait for Medusa. Just a few more minutes. It wouldn't be that long. And yeah, you guys wait a few minutes, and Medusa comes. Pew! And lands right by you, Kalig, and she says,
Jumps up. Medusa!
Ah,
How was your
Kalig!
trip?
My trip was wonderful. I found who we were looking for.
Oh, I knew you would. She pats her on the head. Go ahead and tell us what you saw and what you know.
Yes, it seems they will be here very close to the time Soul told you. They are traveling very slowly because they have many people with them. However, their forces do not number more than 20 or 30. It seems that this is the most powerful of the council, and that there is just a handful of fighters left with them who did not attack Ferendril.
Oh, so low numbers, but probably high power.
Yes. I also saw 4 vampires with them.
They were out in the daylight?
They traveled with cloaks and inside of these weird boxes.
Very good, very good. What do you guys think?
Well, sounds like there's only a few of them, but they're going to be pretty intense. So, I mean, maybe we don't focus too much on AoE spells, but we try and just focus on one creature at a time. That could be an idea. Or potentially we try and get all of them together in a small space and burn them down quickly. If there's not a lot of them, then it might be easier to get them into a small space or something in a confined area. When when there's lots of, like, a whole army, it's hard to get everybody into one area, but if there's only a handful of them, it might be easier. Other than that, I'm just going to be using this jar. And Cadril pulls out his magic jar. He says, I'll be able to probably take over one of their bodies for a period of time before returning to the jar. And that way, I'll be able to possess a creature and use it against them. I'm hoping to take something big and nasty.
Oh, that might help me. I was thinking of something.
Yeah, it's a good idea and all, but, isn't there a chance you just, lose your soul forever?
Ah, yes, there is, Dingle. I'm glad you know your spellbook well. I do have to return to my body before the creature perishes, which means I will have to leave it as as it gets more and more weakened. I'll have to know a good time to leave. If I do not, and if I don't stay within range, then I will not return to the jar. It is a very dangerous type of magic, with many, many little details and restrictions. And but if used properly, I think it can be very powerful. And let me just ping it out here so we can all take a look, because I'm pretty sure you can use this the way I think you can, but it's a pretty complex fucking thing, too. It's like, your soul goes into a body, but if the body dies, then that soul there, and then it goes in that soul dies, and then you go here. And it's like, oh god, this is getting crazy. So I'll just ping it out, and we'll read it for a little bit to make sure I actually can use it. So the thing is, you have to set it up, right? And then you can use it. And that's the whole thing. He's going to try and set it up. And then it doesn't actually require any concentration while you handle everything, so you can maintain concentration on something else while you are experiencing this whole shabobble. Okay, let's do a quick little read. It falls into a catatonic state, goes into the jar, yeah, okay, and then once they have to be within 100 feet of you, and then you try to possess their body. And they have to do a charisma to attempt to stop you, you know what I mean? But if you make it, then that creature within 100 feet does a switcheroo with your body. It goes into the jar. You're not in your body. It goes into the jar. You go into its body. Okay, there we go. So just to be clear, my body is in a catatonic state holding the jar. And I am in somebody else's body, and their soul is in the jar. And no soul is in my body. This is why it gets pretty fucking complicated. Anyways, so on a success, the target resists. Yeah, we already knew that. Once you possess a creature's body, you control it. Game stats switch. It's a lot like shape change. With all of that, you retain your class benefits, which means I can still spellcast. And you can't use any of the other classes' features of the actual dude. The possessed creature's soul can't perceive from the container, so it's just locked in that little jar, and it's just sitting there while you use its body. Now, while you're in the body, you can use the action to return to your host. That's what you need to do before you die. Because if it's within 100 feet of you. See, that's the action one. That's where you just use an action, get the hell out. But if the body dies, you're in it, you die. You have to make a charisma saving throw or you die. So, yeah, you have to, I was right. You have to use an action to get out of the body before the body dies. And then you put the soul back in the creature, and then they're like, oh my god, I have 10 hit points, and I just returned to my soul, or my body, and they're like, oh, and now I die. Otherwise you die. And then this is the other part. If the container is destroyed, my soul immediately goes to my body. So if I'm still within 100 feet, that's cool, but if I'm not, then I die. And that's the two ways you can die. So if you're outside of 100 feet when the jar gets exploded, let's say somebody casts something crazy on me and it blows up the jar, and I was at 300 feet away, I would immediately die. And then also, if I die in a body and I fail my charisma saving throw, I would die in game as well. So it is a risky. Well, I wouldn't say it's risky. You just have to stay within that 100 feet, and you have to get out of a body before it dies. And that's basically how I understand it. If you guys have some different interpretations, let me know, because it is a kind of big spell and it's got a lot to say. So.
After you explain this, Kayleig's just kind of rocking on her feet, up on her tippy toes, and she's got this really big grin on her face.
Oh, what are you thinking, Kayleigh? I see you like this spell.
Well, it might be able to help with something I was thinking that I wasn't sure if it would work or not. But I've been too scared to tell you guys because I didn't know if it would work. But
Well, if you want to keep it to yourself, that's fine. I am always one for mysteries and surprises.
no, but if we can work together, then it might work better. You remember that one creature that was here when we got here with all those arms?
Oh yes, how could I forget it? The spider lady is what I call her.
I
She
thought it
had-
was more snake.
Oh yes,
Marilyn?
she is more snake-like, but it's just the fact that she had so many arms. I don't even think she had 8 arms. I just thought she looked like a spider. Maybe more like an ant crossed with some sort of snake. But I think I know who you're talking about, yes. The one with all the long swords.
Yes. Well, I know that I could turn into her, and I was thinking, oh, this would be very clever to make myself be her and make the army people think that I am her and be like, oh no, the cave crumbled and you can't get through. Let me teleport you. And then they're like, okay, you teleport us so we can go take a rest. And I'd be like, okay. But then instead of teleporting them here to where we are, I use my plane shift spell and take them somewhere else. And I was thinking that would be funny, but I don't know if I can convince them to come with me.
I think
But if
that's...
you were one of them, you could help convince them.
Oh, I see what you're saying now. Unfortunately, I don't think they will be close enough to the jar, but if I could sneak the jar towards them somehow and get within range, then I could definitely do it. Maybe we could set this up at the entrance of the cave and we could try and persuade whoever comes that this is no longer a viable option for their army. I think it's a brilliant idea, honestly.
If I have your magic jar and I teleport over near them, then you could try to take them over as I'm talking, and then and then you could agree with me, and we all go somewhere else. And then we're somewhere else. You can come back to the jar. We come back here, and you go back to your body.
Yeah, it sounds like it would work, honestly. So
Really?
just to be clear, we're going to go there. I take a body, yes, okay. Teleport away, and then you teleport us back, but I will still be in the minion body, right?
So I have your jar. You're in the jar. I teleport outside the cave where they are and say, "Oh, we can't get in." And while I'm saying that, you take over a body, and then you're like, "Oh, well, you could teleport us," and I'd be like, "Yes," and then we all go somewhere else, and then you come back to the jar. I come back to where we are now. You get in your body.
Yes, I understand now. As long as you have the jar, we have no problems. Okay. The one thing I will say, Kayleigh, is this is very dangerous because if you get attacked and the jar is destroyed and I am not near my body, I will die.
Oh.
But you know what? I feel like if we're going to fight, there's a possibility I'm going to die anyway. It's the possibility of dying.
What if Medusa is like somewhere nearby, and if I get attacked, she can take the jar close to your body?
That's fine by me. I think that'd be good. I don't know if Medusa was very stealthy and she can stay nearby without being detected, though. I am willing to risk it, though. I think that it's literally the risk between staying here and dying, potentially, or going and doing this and dying and potentially winning. I see no real difference between trying to win here in a fight or trying to win out there in a coordinated deception. And at this point, Cadril will turn to you, Dingle, and he'll say, "Now, Dingle, I also remember, I think, that you were quite skilled in deception. You've handled things like this before with us, and I was wondering what you think about this idea that we would use our skills to try and mitigate the what we will be fighting here."
I like it, but we should probably have a backup plan for in case it doesn't work, because it's a little too enclosed in that cave.
I think you're right. A backup plan is definitely necessary. Alright, so let's start working on a backup plan. If everything goes wrong, maybe we'll have the rest of the group swoop in from some unseen site. We'll have Adri turn into, like a flying beast, and everyone can just swoop in, and we'll all swoop in, and if it seems like we're being threatened or something, we'll fight anyways.
Alright, sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me as well. I think this is a good plan, and I'm glad you thought of it, K-Leg, because honestly, sometimes coming to blows isn't always the best way to defeat an enemy. There are many ways to be defeating an enemy in battle, so thank you for maybe potentially coming up with an idea that will save some lives.
But I am good at fun and tricks, but I am not good at lying. So that is why I thought it might not work.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Is there any sort of way that maybe any of us could fortify the ability of K-Leg in her attempts to deceive these people? And to say if we'll look up and she says, "Oh yes, of course, I have always been able to help other people when they are trying to express their skills in the best way. I will be able to," I think it's bless or guidance, one of the two. "I'll be able to bless you with the blessings of my God," is what she says.
Yeah, I think guidance is saving throws and bless is skill checks and attacks, I think.
Actually, I think it's the other way around. Bless is attack rolls and saving throws. Guidance is checks, because guidance is the cantrip. Yep, it is guidance. So she will be able to give you guidance. You'll have an extra D4. So that we at least have that. Then when I take over the body, Cadril will say, "Well, once I've taken over the body, I'm sure they'll be more amicable towards your deception. So you will be getting some sort of advantage, and I will give you guys advantage on that. If I am in the body of one of these people and saying that we should go along with what you're saying, I'm sure that will give us an advantage."
What if? How will I know if you take over a body?
Oh, we could set up some sort of hand signal. Once I'm in the body, maybe I'll just pretend to sneeze really loud, and I'll say, "Gagooks" or something, and then that will be the word. What do you think about that?
God, Gooks? She's gonna start laughing really hard.
I couldn't think of anything better. I know, it's terrible. Maybe I'll do a very exaggerated sneeze, and then you'll know.
Or maybe I can just make a random sound. Like, that'll work too.
Yeah, true, I could make a random sound. Maybe I'll whistle a little tune. Here, I'll whistle this tune, and he whistles a little 5-note do 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 do. And then that's kind of it. And he's like, "Do you think you would recognize that?"
Oh yes, yes I do.
All right. Well, I think that's good. I'll just whistle that tune. I'll look very uninterested or something, and then I'll join the conversation, and I'll say whatever. I'll agree with whatever you're saying, and we'll hopefully get them sent away. Now, I do have a little bit of a question. When we change planes, I'm just a little worried about that kind of magic. I don't know anything about it particularly. I'm mostly history kind of guy and religion. So maybe you could explain, once we've taken the people there, what happens, and maybe if we can, how do we leave? Because once we've taken them there, are you going to, will they know, like, is that part of the deception?
So after of course we go somewhere else, they will know that I have lied. So we would need to get out of there very quickly. But up to that point, they will not hopefully know. But after we get there, they will definitely know. Yeah.
Okay.
Then it yes.
Okay, so once we arrive, we'll have to link hands again, you and I, in my minion form, you with my soul in a jar, and when we link hands in the new plane, we'll have to do it quickly enough that they won't really recognize what's going on, and just plane shift it once again. Now, can you do it twice that quickly? I see here, it says you can, it's instantaneous. I'm just in-game asking your character.
I had a thought. I'm trying to process it. You'll be in the jar. You'll be in the jar when we come back, so we won't have to link hands for that.
Oh, slick. Yeah, I can just leave the jar.
My question would be is, do you count as a creature, or are you a jar?
Oh, I'm a jar. I'm an object at that point.
Okay, we could take a third of their force if they're willing, and then yeah, you just come back to the jar, and we can just leave them there.
All right, that sounds good. That sounds good to me. Yeah, I'll just action out of the body that I've possessed, and we can leave them there, and that should be good. Now, I'm just wondering, I need to check in my spellbook one more time about this magic jar. When I leave the body, I need to make sure if they know or not that they've been... like if I was to fail, pardon me. If I was to fail in grabbing somebody's body, if they would know the attempt happened or not. It says that on a failure, my soul would move... oh no, on a success, that's all. Sorry, I'm just going to stand by. I just got to read this up. I want to know if I fail as Cadril, will that alert them that somebody's trying to take over their body, essentially, so... It does not say it becomes aware. It simply says...
Yeah, I haven't to that effect either.
Yeah, it simply says that you just can't attempt to possess it again for 24 hours, which is fine because if there's a group of 20 of them, that literally means I can just keep bouncing until I find one. It's just that I won't be able to... I mean, if I fail on all of them, then I won't be able to do it at all, but I'm pretty sure after 20 people, one of their charisma saving throws is going to fall. So, that should work out. Okay. Alright, well, now that I've consulted my spellbook here, K-Leg, I think you've come up with a wonderful idea, and, after discussing it here with Asayef and everyone else, I'm pretty happy with what we've come up with. Dingle, do you have anything to add? I know you're, again, skilled in this sort of deception work. If there's anything you have to add, please feel free.
I don't really got nothing, but if you need my help, just whistle a tune, and I'll use minor illusion to string up my voice.
Alright, that sounds good to me. Alright, and we'll get Adri to, come over here and change into whatever type of beast, a good flying beast. I believe we use giant eagles still. But yes, we'll get some giant eagle going and we'll put you all on the back there. You, Dingle, and Asayef, and, our friend here. Well, what are we going to do with the snake? Medusa, what will you be doing, I guess? What do you think we should have Medusa doing there, K-Leg, as we are all doing this?
Repeat that?
Oh, I'm just wondering what we should do with Medusa while we're all kind of doing our deception.
I was thinking she would hide somewhere in the rocks that the mess that I made, so that in case she needs to come get the jar, she can do that. But she can hide first because she can move fast, so she doesn't have to be too close. But um, but she can still be able to come get your jar if we need to protect it.
All right. I think that's a great idea. She can slip in and out of the little cracks and crevices all along those giant boulders, just the way that snakes do. And when they're trying to catch little mice and things. And yeah, she'll be hiding in there, and I'm sure that's a wonderful hiding place. Nobody will be able to see her. And yeah, I guess I'll have one whistle, which is a nice whistle, but we need a distress call too. Maybe we should have a distress call for when things go bad. I'll just yell pomegranates or something. Some sort of fruit. That usually works. Blueberries, something like that. Alright, well. Sorry, go ahead. What you thinking?
Well, she was thinking, what if you don't find a body? Like, she doesn't know how long it takes you to get a body, and to go through all 20, and so if you're not in a body to say blueberries, then she won't know if you failed.
Okay, wait. I might have to rephrase that. Or Kadril will just say this. Well, if I fail, I won't enter a body. I'll be stuck in the jar. However, there's so many bodies there that I don't think I will fail. I'm pretty sure one of them I'll be able to crack into. However, if I'm not able to crack into any bodies, you won't be able to hear any whistling, or I won't be able, you'll just notice that nobody says nothing. At that point, you won't have advantage on your deceptions, but K-Leg, I will say that I'm 99.9% sure that after running this with 20 different creatures, as Medusa has said, that I will be able to do it with one. I am a very strong caster now, as we have become more and more strong in our adventures together, and I am supremely confident in my abilities.
How much time would it take? Like if a lot of time goes by and you haven't whistled, do I know?
Let me think here. It probably would only take a minute. The time it takes to go between creatures and to have them have my soul possess them is almost instantaneous. So it will take definitely less than a minute for me to do. And if it seems like after a minute or two that this has not happened, then I'll leave it up to your discretion whether you think it's wise or not to continue with trying this deception.
Hey, K-Leg, I have a question. Could you very temporarily relinquish control over the flying snake to me? I got a plan with it.
Not control her.
Oh, could you ever listen to me then? Because I got a plan and involves her.
You can ask her, and if she wants to go along with it, that is her decision.
Anyway, she just has to flop her lips up and down for a minute or two.
Ah, yes, Dingle, I can do that for you.
Alright, listen, you're gonna be my puppet. I'm gonna talk and then you're gonna mouth along to what I'm saying.
Okay.
Alright, there you go. That's how I'm gonna help you guys talk.
That sounds good.
Do not get it.
Hey, you'll get it. It'll take a bit, but trust me. My machinations are endless.
Alright, are you planning to... Well, you know what? I think we can leave it to a bit of a mystery for what he's going to do. For now, we can execute the plan of simply trying to deceive them. And, well, we'll go from there, right, Dingle? Or is there something you want to do before we try to deceive them?
It's part of the deceiving plan. But yeah, that's about it.
Alright, wonderful. I'm glad to hear you have a little bit of extra spice to throw on this dish of deception. Alright, well... should we maybe go set up at the front of the, we have a lot of time. It's many hours until, but we can go set up, or we can hang out here. It depends what you would all enjoy.
Set up.
You just need to get your jar ready, and then we can do whatever we need when they get here.
Sounds good with me. I have the jar prepared, and whenever we're ready, we can get it ready. So, I will stay near the entrance to the cave, I think, with K-Leg, and well, the rest of you. I don't know where you'd want to hang, but I think the burrow that K-Leg made might make a good place to hide and surprise people from. It's only a few hundred meters, or pardon me, a few hundred feet, maybe even 100 feet from the actual cave mouth, but it would be an advantageous place to hide in the event that this deception goes south.
Well, I am getting nervous.
I'm also getting a little bit nervous. I can't lie. It seems that all of our preparations are finally coming to an end, and we've been on this road for probably about a month now. It seems almost, and maybe longer. And you know, I've just been caught up in this whirlwind. It's almost hard to believe that this is going to end. It seems somewhat like a dream, and I'm finally breaking out of a fever dream or something. That this is the final climax in some sort of crazy fever dream. Alright, well, I guess we should head outside and prepare our machinations, as Dingle has said.
Yeah.
Alright, let's do it. Ah, stupid crossbows. There we go. Alright, I'm going to be moving you guys over to the new page. I will need just a couple minutes of standby as I rearrange some things and make everything good again. I'm going to put your tokens up at the burrow. It's in the top left-hand corner. That's the burrow that K-Leg made when he was an Earth Elemental, a Dow, whatever you want to call it, burrowing through the side of the mountain. That's how...
The Earth Elemental doesn't leave anything. It goes through it like water.
Oh shit, I thought it was more like the purple worm. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that creature, but it leaves behind a 10-foot hallway. I didn't know that. You know what? Then that is not there. Dang, but okay, wait. Okay, so one thing though. Didn't we send a messenger, like the bats, to tell them not to take the main entrance and to go through the hole? Or like, so should we retcon that? We can retcon that.
I don't remember what the bat said. But yeah, so the Earth Glide for the Elemental says while burrowing, the Elemental doesn't disturb the material it moves through.
Yeah, they're usually very distinct about whether it does or not and what it looks like after. The purple worm does it because it's a giant fucking creature. It's like 30 feet or something like that. But obviously I should have realized the Earth Elemental does not. So we will say that we've retconned, not for them to tell them to go through our little tunnel that I thought existed, but obviously does not. We will just say that our message to them was to sort of set up, around the entrance of the mouth and wait for our, kind of attack. And then for them to join us.
If you want to retcon something, we could retcon me shape changing into something that could make a tunnel.
There, we could do that. I will leave that up to you guys. You can retcon the tunnel or you can retcon the message.
Because we had plenty of time for me to get enough rest to do whatever the heck we want.
True, we have had those times where we're literally just doing nothing. So, like I said, I'll leave it up to you guys whether you want to have the tunnel there or not. That's sort of like a strategic idea or not. It also adds a bit of risk, so it's all up to you. You guys let me know, talk about it, whether or not you want to have them just like sort of be told to hang out in the forest around and sort of be stealthy, or if there's another idea that you guys have, let me know. I'm all ears.
I'm fine with the tunnel. I can say it stays.
I'm fine with the tunnel. Uh, yeah. I mean, it's not like they're gonna know about it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. So yeah, then just for clarification, we did make the tunnel, and the bats messengers went out to tell them to take the tunnel, not the main entrance. And we'll stick with that. That's the story, and I'm sticking with it. Okay. So yeah, you guys are all out here. And where do you want to hang out while you're like waiting for this like sort of arrival of all these like people and stuff?
Where should they show up?
Oh, you're way in the top left. Way in the top left. That's the very, very top left corner. It was representative of the burrow that we made. It's our secret tunnel, quote unquote. And then this main, like blacked out area is the entrance into the temple in the cave. And K-Leg asked me this before. It's on an upward slant, so you can imagine that it has a slight grade to it, and it's going upwards. This is that little piece of difficult terrain. I just kind of like put that there to like sort of like remind us that it's there. And on the other screen, you can see there's a little bit of a gap between them. But here I just put them together so that it's still like we have it in our minds that it's there. But anyways, yeah, I think other than that, you guys can move freely around the map now. You can set up where you want. You can do whatever you want, and prepare for whatever. And then we've got a little bit of time probably to do some chatting, whatever we want for RP if we want to do that. And then yeah, time will continue on from there.
All right, Dingle's gonna hide among the rocks, like over here.
Sounds good to me. I see you there. Okay, and so just for purposes too, this cave-in was caused by an earthquake that was cast at the top of the chamber on the ceiling. So all of the rubble kind of goes up to the ceiling and creates an impassable barrier. You could imagine that above all of the rubble that reaches the ceiling, there is probably a caved-out area where the earthquake would have brought down all of the rubble, an empty area. Sort of a chasm in the roof, and that's where all of this has come from. However, there is so much of it that it fills it all the way to the roof line, and it creates an impassable barrier the way that K-Leg specifically tried to tell me about it. So you can go in the rubble. I will just say, like, you won't be able to pass over it or through it, and so like this rubble does, you can hide in it, but it also represents an impassable terrain.
All right.
Probably
hide
from
at
like
the
there. Oh, sorry.
Edge of the cliff, then. Like right here-ish.
Oh, nice. That's a really good little pocket, actually. I didn't even really realize I made that. That's cool. I think I'm actually going to put everybody else there with you, Adri and all them, because that is a good little spot. And then Kadril, his body is going to be... We're going to put his body... Actually... I might have to just retcon something. We're going to leave his body back at the temple. I wonder how long this lasts. I got to look up something. He's got to look in his books for a second, guys. Hold up. But I will start moving those tokens over there. And then K-Leg, you can go set up wherever you
want. I thought everyone was going to stay in the fort and just me and the jar come out to the opening.
Oh, yeah, and I thought everybody was going to stay in the burrow. Okay, let's come back and we'll all talk about it, because Kadril's still a little confused, too, about where he's going to go. So, Dingle, I'll just ask Dingle, hey, Dingle, I was wondering, where do you want to set up now that we're outside here? I noticed we could set up in this little area that you pointed out around the corner, or we could set up in the burrow over here. And I've kind of walked with Dingle, over here, to the thing, and then we walk back and we're kind of like looking around at stuff. But yeah, Dingle, what are you thinking? I'm curious as to what you think would be the most advantageous spot for everyone to set up.
Well, I was gonna set up right here, so that way it can be out of the way. But let's see, Kadril will probably be in the same spot. But I think for the plan to work, we need to have K-Leg and the Flying Snake somewhere over here with an eyesight, so that they can talk to the bad guys and whatnot.
All right, all right.
But in my plan, I thought they would see the rubble and know that they can't get past, and so they would need to let me teleport them.
Oh yes, and in that problem there would be that they'd see Dingle and everybody, or are you thinking, Dingle, that they could see the rubble, but maybe you're going to be stealthy in the shadows?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe further back then. Because you don't really have to walk very far to see it. You just have to like walk like here-ish and look in.
But what if they decide to come up to it? What if they can? What if they notice things as well as I do?
All right.
In that case, let's hide over here-ish then.
By the way, I'm just saying we're all in the cave now talking about it. You know, we're all looking at it. Anyways, yeah, Kadril's gonna look at this stuff.
If we fail, where are you going to go?
Well, presumably if you fail, I'm just gonna start nuking them.
Yes, I thought that was the plan. If we fail, we said we would attack.
Well, yes, but if we fail and they're in the fort, then they still have time to prepare more.
True, but then we would potentially lose the element of surprise, I believe. So I guess the trade-off would be to hang out in the fort, and you know, if this fails, we'll just retreat to the fort, and they have to come through still, which is wonderful. I think that's a good plan. But then there's also the plan of hiding around and also trying to jump them if we cannot make them see our ways. And if that happens, at least we get some sort of surprise element, and that might be exactly what we need to turn the battle in our favor. I think either plan is probably fine. There's probably other plans that we haven't even thought of yet, but if we want to take either of those routes, I would say those are good. If there's another route you want to take, I'm open to anything.
Actually, you know what? I forgot Dingle can fly. Instead of just like sitting at the bottom, he's gonna like fly to the very top, and then just like sit up there in the shadows.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, Kadra will see that and he'll go, I mean, Dingle is quite stealthy up there in the shadows, and it seems that the angles of this cave are fortuitous, that they might not have to look everywhere, in every place.
And Dingle knows how Dingle fights best, so I guess I shouldn't tell Dingle how to fight.
True, I guess. The other, I do see your point, though, that if we had to retreat in this position, we do not have the ability. It seems that if we were trying to escape, we would have to go forward and only forward, and we would basically be betting everything on the battle, or unfortunately, it seems like it might get messy. That's, you know, I don't like particularly fighting with my back to the wall, although if we have the advantage of surprise, it makes me feel a little bit better. So, I don't know. I'm still on the fence, like I said. Maybe we'll roll for it, just out of character. Maybe we'll get these characters that I'm not having here, Saif and whatever. I'm not sure about their opinions yet, so... but you guys can keep talking about it.
I want everyone to get hurt in case I failed.
What was that? You said you have what in case you failed?
I just didn't want everyone to get hurt in case I failed.
Alright, that does make sense. Here, I'll specifically see what these two want, the girls. That might allow us to suss out which way to go. I mean, you know, even out of characters right now, I think both plans are good, so... Alright, the first one will be a Saif, and then the second one will be Adri, and above 10 will be the surprise attack, and the... Oh no, we'll go the burrow, because above is above, and then below is below. So above and below, if that makes sense. The burrow is above the, like, surprise attack area, is how I'm visualizing it anyways. 2 d20s. Both below. Okay, they both want to sit here and wait. And Saif and Adri, they have this sort of bloodlust about them. You can tell that killing a lich really bolstered their kind of confidence in themselves, I guess. And they want to sit here, and if it goes wrong, they believe that we are strong enough that we will be able to defeat anything, and that they think hiding in the rubble is a good idea, or, and if anything goes wrong, then we attack them. That's what they think. Or down in this little area, I was gonna say, but it's all the same shit. I think the area down here is good because like they just don't. They'd have to go pretty far to look down that way, right? Like first off, they'll have to come up. They'll talk to you. You'll probably think there'll be a point where you could stop them from advancing, probably with just good persuasions and stuff. But they're gonna come join Dingle down in the bottom just to represent that they want to hang out in the little crevasse.
There's also up on the other end because this juts out a little.
Oh wow!
So they could hide up here.
They're gonna do that. Yeah, good eyes. That does block their vision line quite well. So and these are giant boulders. Like I tried to make them very visual. So I'm glad you caught these angles, because I agree that's a really good angle. So they're gonna tuck even in a little bit more on that. There we go, tucked in right there. You can't even see them. And so we've got kind of these secret angles where we're all set up on sort of the shadows and the walls. Kadril's body, he's gonna specifically leave his body in. Well, no, I need to be here. Never mind. I'm gonna come. There's more room. In case shit goes wrong, and for some reason, the jar I need to return to my body from the jar, then actually maybe I'm overthinking this, because the snake's gonna have the jar.
My plan revolves snake. Yeah, my plan revolves around the snake.
Oh yeah, your plan revolves around the snake. Okay, so we can't take that out. So I'm gonna leave my body here, because in case something happens to the jar, I could potentially be within 100 feet of it. If you don't go too far and we're fighting in this area, luckily my body will sort of be within 100 feet. Hopefully, if the jar doesn't get smashed somewhere else or something, I don't know. But regardless, that's kind of what I was thinking.
What if you climbed up to the top of the rubble, or just on the other side, so that you'd be within 100. I'd have to get closer, but that way you're not in immediate danger in case something happens.
Oh yeah, you're thinking an AoE spell or something?
Yeah. So we don't need your body dying before you, taking damage before you can get back to it.
Okay, so I am allowed to. I looked this up. Because this magic jar spell is not a concentration and doesn't require any concentration, I'm allowed to have one concentration spell. So Kadril will look at you and say, well, I agree. My body is very exposed in this area. I think maybe I could cast mirror image on myself. I prepared that one for today. Or some sort of defensive thing. I know that maybe AoEs would be worse, but if there's something, maybe I don't have that crazy spell, Globe of Invulnerability, but I do have some other spells that might give me a defensive advantage. What do you think about that?
Can you go invisible?
Oh, of course. Yes, of course. Smart. What? I should have thought of that. Of course I can go invisible. And yeah, I'll just probably cast invisibility when the time comes. He'll just say, if anybody else wants to go invisible too, I can make a certain amount of creatures invisible for a certain amount of time. It would help with maybe staying. We don't have to worry so much about the stealthing thing. So I could make everybody who is in the rubble invisible. I think that's a good idea, actually. We should all come here and do that, because I can concentrate on it for up to an hour. I mean, we don't have to do it right now, actually. We'll wait a little while, obviously. But when the time comes, invisibility will be... I'll trade that out instead. We don't need the elemental. And once we're all no longer invisible, I could potentially summon the elemental on the battlefield from not my body, but the possessed body. Potentially. We'll see how it plays out. But for now, invisibility will give us a stealth advantage. Good thinking, K-Leg.
She's gonna grin and start skipping away and say, "I'm going to go find some food."
Ah, good. I'm quite hungry, actually. We just had such a long rest there that, I'm feeling quite famished. So maybe I'll even dig in my bags here. I think I haven't had food in these bags for a very, very long time, but I still look in them every day just in case I pick something up along the way. But I'm just so fortunate to have these wonderful druids with us. Alright. Yeah, I don't got nothing, but I'm gonna also look at a save quickly. I think she had some other things. Yeah, she's gonna cast this one. So this is one when people get really close, she's gonna start casting this. It's kind of like a trap, like a runic trap. When people walk on it, it explodes kind of thing in a 10 feet area. And you choose one of the things to do. Now, I wrote down which one I'm going to choose because I read it all before, but I'll let you know in a little bit where she's going to put the 10-foot area as a trap. I wrote a whole battle prep thing for all of this. Pre-battle. Oh shit, I didn't even do it. Alright, and she still has to do her divination. So, do you guys want to do that now? She kind of, as she's like, alright, we've got a good spot here. We can all come back together. Anyways, I was wondering if I should do my divination now, or should we just wait a little longer? I mean, we know a lot about everything now. Not my divination, pardon me. My divine favor. My divine favor. We'd already did the divination. It was pretty interesting. But the divine favor is the one where we roll a d100. So I was just wondering if we should do that now and what query or thing we want to change about the world that we would want to do.
I don't even know what I would do with that much power. Kaylee's just kind of like put her hand on her chin and stuff and contemplate because she's not sure what to do with it.
Okay, that's fine. I could assign... I do have some ideas. I'd just throw them out there and then I would assign a dice roll to them. If you want to do it that way, we can do that. And then she'll choose one.
Name a couple so I can get an idea of what this might entail.
Well, now that we have the pamphlet of Javrok, she would ask to have him like petrified or something. I think petrified was the one I was going to go for. Another one would be to change the alignments of Javrok so that he no longer feels compelled to do evil. There's a few others. Change the vampires back into humans. That's a good one. The Council of Vampires back into humans.
So it would work on more than one creature, or like it's a...
Well, see, that's the thing. I would have to... I rule on how powerful it's allowed to be. Now, if you were going to be like, I want to end the campaign, kill Orcus, kill everything, everybody dies, these guys, and blah, 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 and you make it, like, really, really intense, I won't let you do that. It has to be something more just, like, guided towards one person or something like that, like, or even just, like, a group of people or something, like, people you know, and it can't be too vague. That's another thing, so it has to be, like... That's why I was picking, like, the Council of Vampires, or, like, Javrok, and then picking something specific about them and changing it. Now, if you want to do that, you can do that with yourself and be like, you know, for the next 24 hours, we want to make K-Leg invincible, and just like she doesn't take damage or something like that, you know, like something weird. Like, you would still be able to be put to sleep, blah, 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 but, like, you wouldn't take any damage, you know, or, like, something like that.
I can't, remember? It doesn't work on those.
Oh, pardon?
We can't be magically put to sleep.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Yeah, it's because of your racials, you can't magically, but you know what I mean, poisoned or whatever. Yeah, you would still be able to be poisoned, but you wouldn't even like take like poison damage. You would only be under the effect of the condition poisoned, quote unquote, which is its own effect. But anyways, yeah, those are the kinds of ideas of what a lot of people kind of like think would be a traditional use of this divine favor spell. And I can also ping it out again, just if you guys want to take a look at it and take a few more. We don't have to do it right away. Again, you can contemplate it more because it is a lot of power. It's close to a wish spell, but it's different in its own rights. So,
Right.
let me see where it is. Oh, it's under feats and traits too, because it's a cleric feature. It's not actually built into whatever. It's not a spell. It's a once a day kind of like throwaway. It's not supposed to be too crazy. So, and a lot of the times the way that this is tempered down to is that most people like around 10th level don't know who the end BBEG is, or like, they don't know specific things about the end game. So for like 11, 12, 10, those roles are usually designed to just like, oh, for the next while I'm going to be this powerful or this kind of thing. So anyways, there you go. And yeah, let me know if you want to do it now. If not, we can think about it more and we'll just keep RPing some other things as we get prepared for this. Oh, what are you thinking? Should we do it now?
Well, I'm still reading it.
Oh, okay, cool. Take your time, yeah. So under just if you're wondering about like the whole like when I said the wish spell thing, so again it says sort of like under your cleric spells or your domain spells, then you would take wish and then you look at wish and it's like, that's kind of how I would say that this works, is that it works more like a wish spell. If you want to know a little bit more of that, you can look into it. Again, this is sort of just an intervention from the gods, so yeah, I allow people to get pretty creative with this one.
I mean, one of Kalik's thoughts was, if we just made it so they think that we're friends and they don't fight us, and then my plan would work even better. But then I'd need to make multiple trips to get all of them. But
Yeah. I think, like I said, you could probably change the alignments of certain dudes so that they would be like more amicable to becoming and doing good when they met us personally. But if you want to also ask for a divine intervention to give you the ability to persuade these people, you can also do that, and it might just like, you could work around getting an advantage in this next deception that's going to come up.
But she also really liked the idea of like turning the vampires human. I don't, because she doesn't think they'd be a big threat if they were human, right? She doesn't know a lot about vampires though. Just what we've encountered.
All right. Well, these ones are kind of special vampires. The Council of Vampires. I think I made a handout on it. I'm just gonna look. Yeah, it's under the Wild Magic handout. The Council of Vampire Elders. We had talked about it a little bit when we were in like different shrines and different temples and different the underground place with the spider people. But yeah, oh wow, that was a really short one. But anyways,
But like, okay, well, she'll just start asking questions about stuff like that. Like, do would they keep their powers if they're human again, or would they turn to dust, or um, like what's the difference between a vampire and a human, except for the fangs?
It's a really good question, and I think a lot of people might know at least something about vampires and about time passage type of magic. So I'll get everybody to roll whatever they're best at for Arcana and History, and just trying to think if there's anything else that I would apply to it. If you want to use something other than that, yeah, you can roll something different, but I'm pretty sure we're going to crack it. Alright, well, I was going to have it around 22, and then he hit it, so I was just like, I guess I should just give it to Dingle. Let's see what Cadril does. And to Saif, because she's pretty good at some of these things. Oh, yeah, I was thinking religion would be the other one, the int side of things. Because it's all still intellect. Cool. Yeah, she's probably... No, that wasn't good enough. Oh, okay, that wasn't good enough. Alright, let's see what Cadril does. If you guys want to roll it else too, that's fine. But I will say that already Dingle definitely knows. Where's my sheet? Fuck off. I didn't close it, I swear. Well, we'll just go with Dingle. I'll say Cadril doesn't know this one. Dingle, you know that once people have lost their vampiric powers, that their bodies, because they are an undead body, that the body just starts to decompose and die. The soul is an unnatural soul when it returns to its body, so the body is like, like time copped by the gods, essentially, and it's like, no, you don't get to return to just like your body. Time has passed, your soul is this old, and your body's that old, and it doesn't add up. And you're getting time copped, you're dying now. And that's what you know about vampires and how people have turned vampires before. Essentially, they turn back into themselves, but then rapidly age and die.
Alright, I'll let everyone know about that.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Am I a vampire?
I hope not. I don't think so. You don't feel pain in the sun, right?
Oh no, I love the outside.
Oh, okay. You're good then. Don't worry about it.
And she just knows because of her connection with nature and stuff that she's going to live a very long time.
Oh no. Well, if are you worried about how long you feel like you might be living? Because us elves, we live a very long time.
I know, but I think nature is going to keep me around even longer than that, and I didn't know if that made me a vampire or if I'm just going. I don't know. I mean, of course, it's never happened to me before, so I didn't know what it would do.
Fair enough. I think that nature just finds you very special, and they found you very worthy of a divine touch. And so hopefully it is simply a divine favor from Mother Nature that has guided you. And yeah, I think that's probably what it is. And he'll kind of just like pat your head or something, pat you on the shoulder. Patting on the head's a bit condescending, so he'll pat you on the shoulder, such kind of back, and kind of reassure you.
She is still young, so, but it should be like, oh, good, because I don't want to turn into a human.
Oh, yeah, me neither. I mean, unfortunately, they live very short lives. And he kind of looks towards Asayaf, and he's like, I'm sorry, Asayaf, but, it's simply the truth. And she kind of laughs. She's like, oh, it's okay, Cadril, it's fine.
Kaylee's going to remember that tune there. Oh, no, Asayaf! Oh, no! Oh, no, you're going to die.
Oh, don't worry about me, Kaelig. I'll live a very full life until then. You know, there was a friend of mine who always had a favorite little tea dish, and one day it broke on the ground, and I thought she was going to cry, but she said, you know, I just really enjoyed the time I had with it. That's sort of how I feel about my life.
Are you secretly a tea dish?
Maybe you'll have to find out one day. Stick around.
Oh, I'm going to stick around for a very, very, very long time.
Oh, that's good to hear. All right, well, now that I know that, you're going to live a very long time, and she looks to Adri and says, and you're going to live a very long time. She looks towards Dingle and she says, but Master Dingle, how long are you going to live?
I don't know, 300-ish years maybe.
Oh, wow, so you'll live a long time as well. I was never very sure. Not many gnomes in my schools of my clerichood when I was very young. I was quite sheltered, but I'm glad to know now that you live very much longer than I thought.
Yeah.
All right, well, it seems I will be the shortest lived here, which means that I have to fight the hardest. Isn't that what that means? And she kind of laughs and just kind of, ends it there.
Well, I will make sure that you live through this so that you can enjoy the rest of your life.
I'll do the same for you, because seeing a young elf's life cut short is extremely tragic. To think of all the centuries that life could have seen, that soul could have bared, it sometimes makes me wonder if it's more tragic to see a young elf die than a young human. But maybe we shouldn't compare the two. And she kind of just laughs again. She says, because nobody's dying today.
Well, none of us anyway.
Exactly, that's what I meant. Alright. So, I think, what do we have on the to-do list? I'm bringing up the to-do again. We'll see what's up. I'm just catching all the things as we go down. Oh yeah, do we want to do the divine intervention now, or do we want to sort of wait till like maybe Javrok's closer, or they show up even, or like how late do you want to leave that little part of it?
Well, knowing a little more about vampires now, she'll wonder if making them turn to dust now will ruin her plan.
Ah, what are you worried about? If we turn them to dust, I thought it would be game over.
Would it? I mean, are they the snakehead? I was just thinking they might get suspicious if those forages suddenly dusted.
That is true. And I'm not sure if Javrok himself, the new head of the cultists, who has resurrected these vampires, or at least brought them from the abyss through these gates, I'm not sure if he would have a way to resurrect them. He might, or he might not, and unfortunately, with that kind of risk, it seems not a good way to go if we were going to try and hamper them, because if we spent all that energy and time on something that can be undone by necromancy, and we know these individuals deal with the undead, well, it seems that it would almost be a waste. Maybe that is not the most wise way. Once again, Kaleg, you have shown great insight and wisdom.
Papa taught me well.
Well, what were some of the other ideas we had put forth?
Kaylee wants to know how long it takes to do that anyway. The divine intervention.
I think it's almost instantaneous. It takes only but a minute for me to, lay out some of my other materials and things that I would need for it. I don't even know if you need materials. I'm just saying that right now as I'm scrolling back like a madman. Oh, I'm all the way at Dragon's Breath? I definitely missed it. Oh, it's like right above us. Oh my god. Wow. That doesn't tell me about the other things I need to know. 1 second, stand by as I check out the material, S and V's, all of it, as we get an idea. I believe it only takes like a moment, if I remember correctly. It might take 10 minutes though, which will push us towards the 3-hour mark, as we have been sitting and kind of, setting up and getting all of our preparations ready. Oh, no, it doesn't require anything. This is actually a feature trait, and you just implore the deity. It has no... It's not a spell, it's just a trait of her clerichood, and so it does not require any VS or M. That's really weird. Oh, it requires an action. So it's the space of an action. It takes 6 seconds. So a Saif will say that. She goes, "Oh, Kaleg, it only takes but 6 seconds for me to entreat my deity with whatever I want to say, and I reach out to him, and if he's listening in that moment, I send all of my energy and in the words that I say to my god, and he either gives me his favor and intervenes in the way I have asked, or maybe even twists it if he thinks that I have asked something weird and ununderstandable, too vague. But if it's something clear and concise, it will happen instantaneously, and I will not be able to entreat my god in this way again for 7 days, as it will drain me of the power that I use to make the surge, and I will regain that power from my god to make that kind of surge for this question in 7 days after. So only but a moment, and then we will be good to go." Yeah, I remember my homie did it in the other campaign, and I'm like, this is cool. I like this. And I'm pretty sure this is the last thing I have on my to-do before we do some other things, because we will just be kind of waiting. I don't think I've added anything else, so... It's a D100. You just roll a D100. So in it, it says you roll a D100 somewhere. Where is it? Describe the assistance you seek and roll percentile dice, which is a D100. Or if you actually owned percentile dice, you would roll percentile dice. But anyways. And then if you roll an equal number to or lower than the cleric level, so between 1 and 14, or sometimes I do it like 86 and 100 because I like going high, but I would probably just do 1 and 14 right now. Equal to or lower, so you got 14% on the roll, 14 out of 100. And you have to land within that little small bracket.
Okay, I was gonna give her my inspiration if I could, but if it won't work. Then...
Oh wow. Let me think about that. What does inspirational? It doesn't allow you to just do anything. It's only like checks and saving throws.
It says you can expend it when you make an attack roll, saving throw, or ability check. And it gives you advantage on that roll, but of course you're the DM, so you can do what you want. But
no, I would play rules. Unfortunately, we cannot inspire on divine intervention. It would be a bit too broken. That's specifically why it isn't probably a spell that has any sort of check or anything tied to it. But if it was, then I would let you do it.
And I'll save it for my deception roll.
Smart, bud. Smart. That's a really smart way to go. Oh, I'll just actually look at Isaeus one last time to make sure if she has anything else to give you for that, because I didn't specifically put it into my battle prep. This is a new plan, so I got to think about Isaeus rolls and maybe a little bit of Adri's too. I'll look into her, but you guys all have the same spells kind of as druids. So I'll just see about this, because there might be something that goes beyond giving you guidance that goes better. But I probably wouldn't have prepared it. I prepared her spells very, like, battle ready. She is very battle ready. Because she knew today we were going to fight. So, and she did a little bit of scrying and divination to look on the other team, as it were. Nope, she won't be doing that at all. So, yeah, it just comes down to sort of we'll do some divination, and then we'll move on from that. And then we'll maybe see how it goes with the deception and what happens in the next 3 hours before people start showing up randomly.
So Kalig is going to start asking people how much they know about other planes.
Okay. Maybe ask a specific question so I can do a check on the more specifics of it.
Well, first she's going to start off by seeing who knows much about other planes, and then go specific. So she'd ask if anyone knew about other planes, and then what planes they knew, and what kind of places there are on that plane.
All right. What would I roll? Yeah. What would I roll for that?
I will give you like Arcana, History, Religion, because that's kind of like the 3 that I think would play into different planes. That's an 11. That's not very good on this one. Let's get everybody else. Bring them all in. Yeah, we'll see how they do. You can do it too, K-Leg, just so I'll give you an idea of how much you know too. Probably not, like obviously because you're asking the question, I won't say too much, but.
All right.
What am I? A
Better
save? Ouch. Okay, we're all kind of dumb about planes. That was a Saif with the religion. Here comes Kadril with the Arcana, because that's what he likes. Or History, I think, is the other one. There we go.
Nice. Yeah, Kalig's a 0 on 3 of those, so.
Nice, yeah. Well, it is his spell casting modifier, right? And then he took proficiency from being just like an old sage who has never really been outside, which is why everybody here protects him. He's a weak little wizard. Okay, and then Adri. I'll just see what Adri does just in case she knows a lot too, because that could be fun to just RP. But I don't think she's built into it anyways. No. So I'll just give her a religion. The religions of the wilds. No, nobody really knows much. Kadra looks to you and he says, well, you know, I have studied in many halls for many centuries, 2 centuries to be specific of quite in-depth study, studying religion and history and arcane things. So I'm certain whatever you're looking for, I would have at least a general knowledge. I don't know all of the planes, obviously, and all of their inner workings. I do know about quite a bit of the inner and outer planes, and I do know quite a bit about the Shadowfell and about the Feywild specifically, and the different elemental planes. So shoot your shot.
What about the plane of water?
Oh, I know lots. The elemental planes are definitely more of what I know. It's the outer planes and the the top planes and the bottom planes. I can't remember exactly what they're called, but there's like the evil planes and like the good planes or something. There's the top and the bottom. There's like 12 of them. Anyways, those are the harder ones. But yes, the 4 elemental planes, water especially, I know quite a bit about.
It would be safe to say that I know like 1 or 2 dimensions or alternate planes or whatever.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah. You guys didn't roll like so. Like Asayef doesn't know anything about planes. Same with Adri, but K-Leg, you know a bit about planes. Like you would know some of the you know a lot about the Feywild and Shadowfell, I would say, because that's more your style as a druid. And then Dingle, you would know about the elemental planes for sure. You didn't roll a nat 1, so I'll give you that for sure. And then you would know a bit about the Shadowfell and the Feywild as well. Some of those outer, more crazy planes, like the other ones, I can't even remember all of their names. But anyways, those ones are the ones that you would know less, or I would say nothing about, because you didn't roll high enough.
Alright, there's one I have in mind, but let's see. I'll say if I roll under a 10, I don't know it, but if I roll, let's say under 15, I don't know it, but over 15, I do know it. Okay, I don't know it. Never mind.
Okay, cool. I like that. All right, so wait, what's your question there? Okay, sorry, the water elemental plane. Yes, I know about it. Yes, go ahead.
the water or the air? It just seems that a lot of the creatures that we've been dealing with um, have um, have fire and stuff, and so I didn't want to bring them somewhere where they might feel comfortable. But I was thinking air or water would put them at a disadvantage of ever returning.
Seems like a reasonable idea. I wouldn't see why not. Let
But
me.
like, is the plane of water just water? Is it? I mean that. I mean, we could pretty much go anywhere if it was just all water. But like, I don't know where to bring them.
Well, I've never been there. I do know that there are some permanent installations. However, I would say that if we're going to uh, take somebody somewhere, we could just drop them sort of in the middle of the sea. I don't know how you feel about that personally, but I think, it might actually work really well if we just drop them in the middle of the sea and then peace out or leave, as I would say. But
That's what I was thinking. I just
Hmm.
didn't know if how I just didn't know if I needed to know of a specific place of water or something.
All right. So just on as a side note, I am looking up a bunch of shit about the plane of water right now in the compendium. So, it's an endless sea called the Sea Worlds, dotted with atolls, islands that rise up, coral reefs. This is all things that Keijo's actually telling you right now, just so that you know, because I don't actually personally know, so I'm just gonna go ahead and inundate us with all of this. Yeah, there's coral reefs, islands, and it's called the Sea of Worlds. There's portals to the material plane, so there's portals back to the material plane, but those portals will be permanent gate portals, which means that they will, like, the creatures that go through that won't be able to choose where they come out. They will come out at a distant, like in an old temple, like an old water temple, or they'll come out in like some sort of like ruins or something. They don't get to choose where they go after that. Let's keep reading a little bit about it, though. The sea isn't calm. And sometimes, but you can choose whether it's calm or not. Okay, because sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. There's aquatic humanoids. There's the Citadel of 10,000 Pearls. I remember now what I was thinking about. All right, it was the Citadel of 10,000 Pearls. All right, so anyways, tells you about that. There's a big thing there. There's krakens and leviathans in this realm, so it's pretty crazy. There's an island of dread, the Silt Flats, Sea of Ice, Frostfell. Okay, so if you want to look this up, it should be in there under, you just type in planes, and then under inner planes, it's part of the plane of water. You can look through that. There's the city of Brat. Oh, no, wait, that's the wrong place. Anyways, there's not the city of Brass. There's the Citadel of 10,000 Pearls. That's the one I'm thinking of. And, yeah, or you can just go to, like, the Isle of Dread. He tells you about all of this because he rolled a fucking 28. So, anyways, yeah, if you want to, do you know what I'm talking about? Can you find it?
Yeah.
Slick. So, yeah, I'll rule that he can tell you about all of the inner planes, and Dingle also knows about the inner planes as well because, he kind of rolled enough to know about those ones. Not the outer ones, I believe, are the ones where there's lots of them. So, anyways, yeah, we're able to suffice you with all of this information.
Okay. Yeah, she'll just absorb as much detail as she can.
Yeah, feel free to take some time to roll it. Like, we can relax. It's a lot of information. I was looking at it, and there's a lot of different locations that it specifies. I knew there were specific locations in a citadel, but I didn't know what the buildings were called or anything like that. And the islands and coral reefs was a cool addition that I didn't really think about either. So, yeah, like I said, take some time, read through it. I like certain things like the Isle of Dread sounded pretty cool. It's connected to the material plane by a storm. Interesting. Maybe it's not that cool. Ooh, the Silt Flats.
I think the Krakens and Leviathans caught her attention.
Oh yeah, that was a cool one, yeah. In the darkened depths, horrid creatures dwell there, including krakens and other mighty leviathans that claim the realm. Cool, yeah. Guys, oh my god, this is the first like kind of planar travel that anybody's doing in any of my campaigns, and both campaigns have a little bit to do with other planes and stuff like that, so it's kind of cool to see that we're like at that level, because you don't start getting this kind of stuff until usually a bit later kind of thing, so
You're welcome.
hell yeah, first to do it, let's go. Also, what's up there, Twitch world? I see we got some more people showing up in and out as always. How you guys doing today? We're just talking a little bit about the water plane.
Just to clarify this now. I don't remember if I read or heard, but underwater, like if you hold your breath, you have enough breath generally to cast a spell.
Oh yeah, I would say that if you're swimming, yeah, until you like run out of breath, you would be able to do the vocal components. Yes, you are. So there is underwater fighting in a lot of different campaigns, and even in this campaign there could have been, because we were on the boats and stuff like that, you know, hanging out on the beach and stuff. Anyways, so if we ever got into underwater fighting, I looked it up a little bit. Yeah, you're able, if you go underwater, you're still able to cast. So like, let's say a crab got you by the footy, starting to take you away, a giant crab spinning you away, you're still allowed to cast stuff. I don't think that's a problem. Other DMs, I guess, maybe have like a strict rule, but I'm not like a I'll kill you DM. Well, I am, but I'll do it fair with the rules. So, yeah. Anyways, with the real rules
I'll
or
kill you
whatever.
with the rules.
Yeah, exactly. I want to do it fair. I don't want to just be like, haha, I got you, and oh, yeah, no, sorry, you're underwater. You can't make any vocal component. You definitely can maintain your vocal components when you're underwater. Maybe it's wrong. I don't know. I actually didn't even look it up, but I always just thought like I would let people do that. So.
Yeah, I mean, you hold your breath, then you go in with air. So you have at least one round of air if you let it out. But yeah, I wouldn't think that you'd be able to just continually cast unless you had water breathe or something. But
No, yeah, exactly. After a little while, you just run out of air anyways. Like, I think most people have like a little bit of breath, so like I would give people like 5 rounds maybe or something like that, and then it was like, no, you're just gone now. Like you don't get, we can't just sit here and wait till you use all of your fucking spells, you know, like 6 seconds times, 20, maybe, no, not that many, but anyways, 10 even is like a minute, but people don't, like, can barely hold their breath for a minute, let alone saying things underwater while you're getting pulled away. Like, it's just ridiculous. So yeah, like I said, I let people cast out, but there is a limit to it, and I've never even really had it happen yet, but because we are thinking about planar travel and going to the water, I'm glad you kind of brought it up again.
she has a backup plan in case she runs out of air before that. But
Sounds good. I am going to go check out underwater combat. I do remember there is specifics about it. So I'm just like, yeah, unusual environments. I remember that one. Okay, so what are we thinking? So you wanted to... Wait, are you still asking Cajal questions about the water plane?
well, I assume he just tells her everything he knows.
Oh, yeah, he already told you everything. I guess now that he's kind of given you all of that information, he's kind of like, well, Kalig, I'm wondering... What kind of crazy ideas do you have in mind? Is that where you're going to take these creatures? I mean, I guess that's what you said already. Never mind. You don't want to take them to the like a fiery place, so I think water would work.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they won't have as many powers, because we've come across a lot of fire so far.
Yeah, it seems these undead and these demons have all kind of come together from the abyss, working together. These necromancers and these kind of fiery demon people, they've all come together, leading from the abyss, trying to take over our realm, which is, it's ridiculous. I think it's crazy, and if things keep up this way, I think keeping people out of the realm that they might have advantage in is a good idea. So
And maybe one of those kraken thingies will just eat them.
Exactly. We can always hope, right? All right, give me 2 seconds. I'm still sticking. I'm like hanging out in underwater combat. It doesn't say anything about vocals. Literally, it says, if you go fight off sharks, it's these are the rules that apply. When making a melee weapon attack, you have disadvantage, and when making a ranged weapon attack, you automatically miss.
Interesting.
Creatures and objects that are fully immersed in water have resistance to fire damage, which seems like they would have more than resistance. I would almost give them immunity. You're shooting fire into water. You have to shoot a lot of fire, but I guess resistance is fine. Whatever. Regardless, you can cast underwater. It doesn't say specifically anything, but once a creature runs... See, this is where I remember reading this and being like, okay, so once you run out of breath, obviously you can't, but up until that point, you can use your breath and cast underwater. So, yeah, not even...
Well, I think there's something somewhere else that talks about how you have, I think it's 10 seconds or a minute or something, times your Constitution modifier. So I think it's a minute for every modifier. So like if you have a 3 modifier, you can hold your breath for 3 minutes. But of course, if you let it out, then that reduces.
Dope. Okay, I see. There's water breathing. I'll look into that, but cool. Yeah, I think that is somewhere. I don't know where it is, but that sounds about right. I think that's in the PHB somewhere about how long you can hold your breath, but I couldn't find it in the compendium, weirdly enough. All right, well, now that we've got it kind of out of the way, I don't think it's going to get into that much too intensely, but we shall see. Regardless, Kadril is like, all right, well, I think we've got a good plan here. We're going to have all of us go invisible. We're going to have K-Leg do some deception work, and if it goes to all hell and shit, whatever, well, then we'll just go and fight it out, and we'll jump them, and we have the advantage of surprise, so we'll just shoot at them and, watch them die as they are just surprised that we even are here.
We are going to get them good.
All right, are we ready? I think we're almost ready. We just... is there anything else we want to prepare? Say if we'll walk up and she'll say, oh yes, I still have to set my little trap here, out in the front. Just a moment. I'm going to cast Symbol, which is a cleric spell that acts like a trap in that 10 feet that I was talking about. And I'm going to put a character token there to just sort of represent the trap. Probably something like fire or something like that. I just want to quickly bust it out. Because I have to pick one. I thought I put it in my battle prep which one I was going to pick, and I can't... I was like, oh, that's stupid. Oh, I was going to do damage. Duh, that was the one. It's the explosion one. Where is it? It's this trap here. You can also specify creatures that don't do it, so that's you guys. Oh yeah, I was just going to do death. That's the one. Each creature makes a con save or takes 10d10 necrotic. Boom. That's easy. That's what I was going to do. You're going to see some crazy shit come out.
Trigger?
Pardon?
But what's the trigger?
When they enter. So I believe it says... when a trigger, when a character enters it for the first time, it triggers it.
I think you get to make the trigger, decide what triggers it.
Okay.
But like if they want to come look at the cave-in or something, or even if they get too close, then that's gonna put them on a defensive if it goes off.
True. I guess we have to put it in a pretty specific place, and then we have to try and get a good trigger for it. And to think about what kind of trigger we would use is kind of interesting. I do know that it could include touching or stepping on the glyph, removing another object covering it, approaching a certain distance of it, or manipulating the object that holds it. Now, I'm interested in thinking about maybe if you could tell them... no, that wouldn't work. Do you have any ideas of what a good trigger is? Because I can't just have it when they walk on it. You're right. I mean, they will immediately blow up. Oh, word. All right, yeah. Fair enough. All right, yeah, Dingle's out. Okay, we probably should shut it down then.
Kaylee was thinking if someone bleeds on it.
That's an interesting one. I think that could work. All right, well, maybe we could also have it set up that you could trigger it from a distance somehow. Or that I could. I'm just reading through all the different ways you can trigger this thing. There's a pretty good one. Because you could put it on an object, or you can... I'm thinking she can, like, maybe throw it like a grenade. Is that, like, a thing?
No, because if you put it on an object and it moves more than 10 feet from where it was, it goes away.
Oh, yeah. It can't move that far. Okay, so... Yeah, I like the physical characteristic type thing. Like, it could be... set to affect certain people. No, never mind. But like that, like if something's bleeding on it or something. I'm trying to find if you could make it a command word, though. That's what I really want to do.
You can further refine the trigger so the spell is activated only certain circumstances. Kind. Set it to a specific thing.
I think it's only to a certain creature's characteristics, height, weight, that type of thing.
Such as those who say a certain password. Oh, that's don't trigger, but
All right. Well, how about this?
I mean, if you can specify it to a certain weight or a physical kind, I don't know why you wouldn't be able to. Well, of course, it can't hear, so. I mean, that negates the other one. I mean, if you can say a password so it doesn't trigger, I don't know why you can't set it so a word would trigger it.
Yeah, and also, because you can have objects that would trigger it going out and stuff, I think you could throw an object into it, specifying a weight and, like, you know, whatever, to, like, be the trigger. So, like, if you want to throw a rock of a certain weight or whatever, it will trigger it once you throw it in there. Yeah, activated only under certain circumstances or according to a creature's physical characteristics. I think that's the biggest part, because it says under circumstances or according. So they're giving you, like, a fair amount of breadth there, creative breadth, to be like, it's under these circumstances. So Asayef is going to build it to be... This is probably where we end the... Well, actually, we could probably go for a little longer. We don't really need everybody here. We'll get some more things set up. But essentially, Asayef's going to set it up so that if you fail to deceive whoever our enemies are coming next, it will go off. So hopefully you can entreat them in a bit more, and once they're standing on it, then if it activates by you failing your deception check, boom, it'll go off right at that moment. And at that moment, you know, it's just like, you failed. That'll be one way you know you failed. You won't even have to insight check it, because it's going to go off once your lie is not believed.
Okay. I mean, yeah, we can do that. I just, I mean, let's see. Even if my light isn't believed, I can still attempt to bring them to astral shift them.
Yeah, that's cool.
So in case you forgot, I have that amulet of the plains.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so if I fail an intelligence check, everything within 15 feet of me travels to a random destination. So, so whether I succeed or fail, they can go somewhere.
Yep, whether you succeed or fail, they won't be on the battlefield, at least that much. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go set this thing up, and then we'll do one more little thing here, I think, and get ready for the next session. And I actually think the next session will actually be the last session, because of the way things will go. It will probably end up being the last session. What day is it? Yeah. And we will, that's going to be it. It'll be the end of the campaign, essentially. So, yeah, get prepared, get ready.
So it worked out that Adri didn't actually need to be here today. So depending on how long the battle takes, and you could also make a decision next week at that point. But do you do an afterward, or?
Oh yeah, we'll definitely do like a denouement, essentially the climax ending, where we talk about where the characters go, and all that type of stuff. Is that what you meant?
Yeah, like what happens after we win, type of stuff.
Yeah, we'll talk about kind of what happens to the world. There's still things going on, outside of this little shrine area, because the cultists still own that prison that they took outside of Farandrill. So yeah, there's still some things that we will kind of just simply RP out. But we'll see how it all goes. Hopefully we can have Adri here, and hopefully we can get Dingle to hang out for a little bit longer, maybe till a 4-hour session, but I understand 4 hours can be a long time. And if not, we might do another just little mini wrap up the denouement type thing at another time when maybe we all can do it, and we'll just schedule sort of an offshoot one. But if not, I think we'll just try and wrap it up next week. But if not, we'll see how it goes. I mean, potentially we could do some more sessions, just at different times.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't get to it next week, we can always come back on the 25th. Because, I mean, as of now, I think everyone has it in their mind that we'll at least be going through the month. So, because we already have the 18th off, right?
Yep, exactly.
So, I guess for now, I'll just plan that we go to the 25th, and if we wrap it up next week, then we wrap it up next week.
Yep, we'll do that.
Make sure Adri makes it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and yeah, I think we'll have enough time to probably get to do what we need to do. Although sometimes battles can take quite a long time, but we'll see how.
I mean, heck, we spent the whole time just planning for it, so.
Yeah, today was an interesting one. I was like, oh man, we've got a lot of shit to do. We didn't even get to the divine intervention yet, so yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we still got to do that, but it's good because we got through our spells a lot, and I think learning our spells a lot is a lot of D&D, right? It's like reading your spells, knowing them a bit more better, so that things don't come up that surprise you.
Right. Yeah, that makes a big difference. It'll be funny though after we defeat all the big baddies. If we go free the prison, we pretty much just stroll on in, and it probably won't be much of a challenge.
Yeah, compared to this last battle, the prison itself, and I think when we were in Farandrill, the whole thing was oh, we're not getting enough like support from the Empire, and the majority of our people are still stuck in like the Elendere Mountains because we sent them to chase the Draconians when they were there, and now we've got them still coming down here, and they're kind of like outmaneuvered, outpositioned, and the Empire forces are actually still in Kandathan while this is all happening. They've sort of just arrived there as this morning, and anyways, so those you'll have more like support from the Empire, all that type of shit. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting as it goes.
Kaylee's just gonna go in alone. She's gonna tell you guys to hang back. She'll just saunter on up and take.
Hell yeah, and just watch it all collapse. Or you'll just turn into a green dragon again and just like go stomp around.
Right.
See if you can just get a bunch of intimidation checks and get them to all run away, which, I mean, you'd probably have advantage at that point, but...
So much to do.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I was like, I was thinking maybe we could wrap it up next time, but I was like, you know what? Just the way that today went, in hindsight, actually, I don't think we could. I didn't even get to introduce, like, the next little bits of what's going to happen in these next 3 hours, which is, like, I wanted to get through that, but I thought maybe we'd have another hour, which is fine. I mean, it is what it is. So, sometimes it's 3-hour sessions, sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 5. Depends on the day and the moods. But yeah, maybe next time will be a little bit longer. If not, yeah, we'll shoot to be here on the 25th, maybe too, just because, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Who knows? Maybe it'll finish the battle and then do the denouement.
And yeah, that's kind of what like I have planned. Like I think 2-hour battle and 1-hour finish, right? And maybe. I have a little bit of obviously things to get through with this like 3 hours. There's some stuff that goes on in this like time before the battle, and we have to get through.
Okay.
We have to get through like people showing up randomly, which is going to be a whole nother thing to just like kind of throw a curve wrench in how all that all plays out. But yeah, so that'll be probably the beginning of tomorrow. Or I mean next session. That'll be the beginning of next session, and we'll see how it goes from there. The divine intervention. And then probably straight into some final battle type stuff, and yeah, and then we'll see. And the reason I really want to do a denouement is because I think there's some things in this battle that will like maybe potentially people might die. There's things that could change the whole campaign. So it's like you have to do a denouement, because if you don't, then like you don't really get a good sense of how the world changed while you were there.
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah. It's like you killed the bad guy. The end. Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, wait, what happens to my character? That's all I really care about. Like, yeah, sure, the BBG's dead, whatever. But like, now I want to live my life as the character. You know what I mean? Like, this character has all these ideas and devotions and relationships and blah blah blah. Like, those are okay, good. That's over. But now there's all this other stuff to explore. So. Yeah, I think it's important to kind of flush out that last little bit. And I was kind of hoping today would be a bit more of an RP session for sure. Like, I know we spent a lot of time strategizing, but I thought it was good to just kind of be in character and stuff. So, yeah, maybe just like reminisce a little bit about all the times we had. But, maybe we'll do a little bit of that more next session when Adri's here. Although she hasn't been here for much of the campaign, she can reminisce about the giant baby and the crocs that, and all the like weird stuff in the jungle.
I'd forgotten about those.
Yeah, exactly. Just weird shit that happened along the way.
Kaylee wouldn't be afraid of those anymore.
No, definitely not. I mean, yeah, we proved our power that day, that's for sure. All right, well.
Make sure you have that divine intervention written down, because I know I keep forgetting about it. Even 5 minutes after we talk about it, it's like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got it written down. It's actually at the top of the to-do list, which is why I kept coming back to it. I was like, yeah, okay, and then we've got this divine intervention, but like, and then everyone's like, oh, we'll take a little time to think about it. Okay, cool, and then come back. Oh yeah, we got this again. Oh yeah, okay, we'll take some time to think about it. But it's fine. I think it's something that should be held until you get more information, and it was smart to, do different things to get information and, yeah, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's interesting though. I think this is the first session I've ever had where we spent the majority of the session actually planning, like like, and then not really doing anything. You know how like there's D&D memes about people just planning and then it takes 5 minutes to battle or something like that. This was
Right,
that.
yeah.
This was like this session of 3 hours of planning and no battle kind of thing. So yeah, but I think I'm gonna chill out here
Better
till
than just
4:30.
saying, walk in and hit him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of people do like that kind of style play too. They're just like, yeah, I'll just, who cares? Why do we got to set up? We don't need that much. Like, we're already strong. Like, let's just go fight everything. Which I think sometimes can turn poorly in their favor, and other times, it just leads to a type of play style they really enjoy. So I know a lot of people like combat, and a lot of people like, they're like, oh, that's too much combat. So it's hard to always like have a good balance, I think.
Yeah. So remind me, do you listen or watch to Critical Role?
Yeah. I watched all of I've been really on top of it lately, actually. So I've been over the last few months. I've been watching the finale, the wrap up, the PvP, which was kind of weird and fun, and then this whole Exandria Unlimited thing. And I have a pretty good idea of what I thought the kind of chaos would be with new players, and it is more crazy than I thought it would be. Like these players, they are wild, man. Like, they're like, okay, we found somebody breaking into our house. Okay, we're gonna work with them. Okay, now we're gonna double cross them. It's like, what the fuck? First off, you should have just turned that person into the guards. Like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, but I love it. It's great. It's the kind of craziness that I think Crit Role fans all really enjoy. And I think maybe like the different style of play will like shock some people for the first bit because it's not Matt Mercer and it's not Critical Role. But at the same time, I love having like Caleb and Matt there to sort of bring back everything together. And you can really tell how the new players kind of look to them as kind of veterans in the world.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into Exandria. I'm still listening to the Mighty Nine, but yeah, talking about planning and stuff made me think of how Caleb always wants to investigate or identify or get knowledge or plan, and Bo, Naughton, and Jester, one of them always wants to jump the gun.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And me too, as a player, I find information gaining is something I really like to do, and I build a lot of it into my world sometimes. And players will just go right past it. They'll just be like, oh yeah, well, that's cool. I see that, okay, and they don't investigate deeper or whatever. And like, maybe not so much in this campaign lately because we've just been fighting to the end. But in some other campaign, the other campaign that I run, there's like, we finally got to the final end town and people are really about it, but up until this point, which they're at level 16 now, a lot of the intrigue or like investigation, it was very like kind of just surface level, and then like, let's leave town and let's go to this other place that we have, like main quest line, just straight focus, which I thought was kind of cool. And then it kind of broke around level 12 or whatever, where they started being like, whoa, there's a world and we can do more. We don't have to always take the like most clear safe route. And then that started to be like, okay, now they're starting to look around and do different things rather than just bonk things on the head.
That's cool. And well, yeah, you're lucky they turned to that. But the people who always jump on everything, like anything the DM gives attention to or name. Oh, we got to look at that. Oh, we got. Yeah, you don't have to look under every paper plate.
Yeah, that's a big thing. I had
But
a
yeah,
red
it would
heron.
be frustrating to have all that information or something, and they just overlook it. I mean, there's always a trade-off though, and so.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like, yeah, you don't have to look under every paper plate is really important. I have a bunch of like side missions and red herons that they're getting deeper into in this other town or whatever. And right now they're super focused on a red heron. there was sort of like a illusionary sea that they crossed, and there was just a part of it that was an illusion, and they investigated it a little bit, but didn't go much deeper. They saw that there was like sort of an underwater society down there, but they didn't really know how to get in. It was protected by a barrier underwater and stuff. Anyways, so they're like, whatever, we're not going to go there. But then, like, now there's a new cataclysm that has to do with, like, the oceans draining, and it's going to, like, destroy the world because all the water is going to, like, drain out of the oceans. And they're like, oh, my God, it had something to do with the temple. We went by the temple, and now the oceans are... And it has nothing to do with it. It's just, like... It was 2 random rolls on different ocean encounter rolls, like literally just like D100s that came together within a few days of each other, and it was like changed the cataclysm to the like an ocean draining thing, and just before that they had the underwater merfolk society, and it was crazy. Like now my cleric spent $2,000 summoning an ally, a planar ally, to go investigate this. He spent $2,000 on a fucking red heron, and I'm like, oh God, I hope he doesn't kill me next session, because next session I have to come back with the answer of what it is, and I'm going to come out with this beautiful explanation of this underwater society, blah, 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 and all of the time that this like thing spends there, its whole day it spends there, and then comes back, and it's going to be great. And then she's going to come back and be like, and yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with like the cataclysm you're worried about, and it's going to be like, wow, all of that for that, hey?
But you know, as far as D&D goes, that is so much better than you just being like, okay, I see you're interested in it, but it doesn't mean anything, move on. And I'd just be like, okay, yeah. So I mean, yeah, it would be frustrating, but at least, you know, they had the opportunity to play how they wanted to play.
True, and they're going to be so happy that they finally figured it out. Because they were like, what the hell is down there? You know, like it was plaguing them. They decided not to deal with it and just move on. And afterwards, I could tell it was just fucking them up. They got to this city and everything, especially after the ocean started to drain. Again, that was just a stroke of luck. But once the ocean started to go down, they started panicking. They were like, we fucked up. We should have stopped. What were we doing? You know, like, oh, it was great.
That's cool.
Yep. All right. Well, yeah, I got a few more minutes to hang out, and then I'm going to probably peace. Let's see. I'm going to get ready for next session, I think.
All right. I guess I'll see you next week. Hopefully with a full band.
Yeah, hopefully. And, hopefully we can potentially wrap it all up. We'll see. I have a really unique way that you guys will definitely get to level 20 next time, and then that will be incorporated into some other things, but I don't want to spoil it too much. I just want to like let you know like the level up is coming, because I know we didn't even come close to doing anything this turn. So
right.
Yeah, but and I've actually I kind of had a feeling that was going to happen, and that we don't see, like, even if you whatever happens, like, you only have 3 hours, how are you going to get a long rest? You know, there's a big question there, right? And I already have a solution for that.
Cool.
Yeah, but that's going to be a hook for next episode, and then yeah, hopefully we'll be able to wrap it up definitely this month, and then on to some other campaigns. It's been really good. I guess I should ask you one last thing, if you're still down to chill. How many campaigns have you played, and how many, like, when you started and now, how, like, where are you at?
So I started playing D&D maybe 3.5 years ago, maybe 4 years, something like that. I have played in 5 campaigns and DM'd 1, but the one I DM'd, we didn't get a finish. So
Okay, cool. So
I've never used like my very first one. I came in on the Mines of Felindar, or whatever it is. So that was module run, but I wasn't the one running it. So the one I DM'd was I made it up. So it was a homebrew one, and So I'm trying to start a new group to get some younger people in, like kids, to get them into it. And I was gonna do Horde of the Dragon Queen, and I've never run a module, obviously, so I'm a little worried, but
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've actually looked at some modules. I don't know what I want to do. I feel like I just I don't know, I want to homebrew a sci-fi thing next, but we'll see how it goes. But that's really cool. You actually have a lot of experience. I'm trying to remember. So do you remember if Dingle, this was his first campaign?
I don't remember actually.
Me either. And you know, I thought I'd be so good at that. I'm like, man, when I start playing D&D, I'll remember everything. And now I realize it's just like real life. I don't remember everything in real life, and how the fuck would I expect to remember everything in D&D? That's too ridiculous.
Yeah, and, even listening to Critical Role, you know, I'm going through the episodes obviously a lot faster than they played them. You know, I only have a 5-minute break in between episodes rather than a week or two, and you know they'll do something or not do something, and I'm like, you just went over this. Why don't you remember? But sometimes I got to remember they've had a week, and when I come back to a game a week later, or especially 2 weeks later, there's a lot of things I don't remember.
Yeah, exactly. We all do it kind of thing, but at the same time, you're like, it's like certain people remember certain things and other people don't, I've noticed. And it's really interesting because there'll be gaps that other people have that we all don't, or, you know, like a whole bunch of people will gap on one thing and only one person will remember it. And then when they say it, we all remember it. And it's like, it's a really weird, like, what sticks in people's brains kind of thing.
Yeah, it's interesting to see it, but also frustrating that, especially if you're the one that forgets. But you know, it can be frustrating to look back and be like, "Oh my goodness, why didn't anyone remember that?"
Yeah, definitely. And I've been guilty of it for sure, but I guess we all have been probably.
I just need to learn to write more stuff down. It's really hard on Roll20 because um, you're on the screen, and so I mean I guess I could have a piece of paper in front of me, which I did when we started. I'd write down some notes, but that paper got thrown away, and I just never I just never did notes again.
Yeah, I usually try and do a little recap because I'm like, oh god, I gotta do D&D, right? Like I can't just be like, I can't forget everything. I have to like kind of carry the story through a little bit. So, well, sometimes because my notes are terrible. I don't even take notes. What I do is I go and I watch the VOD on Twitch and I do a recap, a really quick like, oh yeah, I remember that happening, and it triggers all my memories. I write down all the notes, or like I build the recap. And usually I build a note called the recap. And in the recap is where I keep everything. But like as far as my actual notes on like a lot of old stuff, I only make very sparse notes under characters in the GM area, and that makes it a little easier. But if I was a player, like I'd probably be one of the bad players that doesn't really have too many notes, but I have like a pretty solid idea of the campaign maybe. I would probably lose a little bit of like interactions when people like go off on their own in the party and do their own thing.
Right.
Yeah, but other than that, like I think I'd have a good idea about the group essentially and the main campaign, but I'd probably lose a lot of like little details along the way, unless I don't know. Actually, Kate, as a player, can you make your own handouts?
No.
Shit, yeah, I didn't
Like
think
like
so.
not on Roll20 anyway.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, if I could make it on Roll20, it would be a bit easier. I feel like having everything in one place for Roll20 makes it a little easier because it makes the notes cleaner, I guess. And but when I've like made notes like by hand and it's like really messy, so I'd probably have to like try and remember how to take notes like being in school kind of thing.
I was terrible at it then too.
Yeah, me too, man. So my stenography, like my handwriting, is not really that great, honestly. So I don't know. It's so that's what I'm gonna try and do. My Saturday sessions will end soon too, and then I'm gonna try and be just a player for the first time. And I think I've been a player before, but like everything I've ever tried to join just fell apart instantly, which was really sad. I'd have like session zeros and then they would just die, and I was like, oh man. But anyways,
No,
I feel like I can get a good session now, and I know what I would look for in like a group in a DM. But regardless, I'll be playing for the first time, and I think it's really interesting to sit on the other side, and I really want to do it. So after that, I'll probably just maybe go back to DMing. I don't know how I feel about it, because DMing is like playing, but you have other creatures. But I also feel like I would get way more in tune with my characters, whereas like Cadril, I like him, but I also feel like maybe I'm not as attached to him in the RP because I'm dealing with so much other things.
right? Yeah, I mean you're a Hydra where we're all just one-headed creatures.
I guess so. Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to think about it, honestly. And yeah, I think Cadril's just one of my heads. Whereas, yeah, in being a player, I get to solely focus on one character, and that'll be great. But I did learn Magic Jar. Magic Jar was dope today. I was like, Dingle rolls Arcana, and he's like, I don't know, man, isn't that really risky? And I'm like, yeah, it is. I could die. Here's the 2 ways I could die. And I'm like, oh yeah, that is how I could die. If I die on the creature, I was like, I have to take an action to get out before I die. Like, I can't take a reaction. Like, on my turn, I have to leave the body. And yeah, anyways, it was funny. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean it could come in very much handy. So
Yeah, I think it's gonna be cool. It's a spell I took because I thought it RPs well. It's like a visually interesting spell. Plus, it adds a bit of like scariness, a little bit of risk. I think that's really important to like just sort of put us on edge a bit.
and I think Cadril, like, that's something Cadril would actually do is take that spell.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's like super deep into the arcane like magicry of it, and he's always been more utility. Where we always said, I think Dingle was dedicated more to just being like the DPS boy, and having all the abilities to change his the damage types at a whim and stuff like that made him more like damagey. Whereas like I took a lot of weird stuff, but anyways, I definitely thought it fit with him. I think for level 20, I will take a Globe of Invulnerability, though.
I don't know that. I don't think Kaylee really had a set thing with her spells. Oh, this one sounds fun. Oh, this one sounds fun.
Heck yeah, that fits her character. Honestly, it's like you're
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm dope. I'm ready to head out. And I think I just want to make sure we all have inspiration again, because we got it from that one like sunrise where we all like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure
I just
save.
don't forget that I use it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, but I'm gonna head out, and yeah, it's been a good one. I'll see you next weekend for what might be the finale. You never know. We'll have to see how it plays out. So.
Everyone dies.
All right. Peace out. All right, and that's it for today. Talk to you next weekend when we come back with more D&D and some video games in the morning.